Oh, hello. Welcome to the 84th edition of the greatest live stream that's ever been on YouTube. The fact that I came on put me down one. Yikes. Anyway, same beautiful weather. Lots of rain lately. I'll go back to the freaking doctor, man. Check my what do you call it up. It's freaking Gary's turkey neck, man. Watching these guys put up my wall the other day on the property, kind of hollow block wall. The substitute guy that hello David that working in place of the carpenter that's sick. He's got his idea of straightening out the wall was throwing more mortar in to make it higher and not tapping it down. Oh my god. I looked at that and I thought, oh fuck, I could have did that when I was 10 years old like that. Oh yeah. It's a wonderful life. But the throat thing got better. Just good. I never had a problem here the last since 2012 on and off. Nothing. I come here and I got this going on. Shit. I should go back just to have a regular X-ray to get a little congestion. But hey, look at this range of pores. He's got his remember that Dodge commercial back in the 70s, I think that sheriff with the amber colored sunglasses. He was that hat reminds me. Oh, you might now. You're younger though.
I can't help it. I'm cool looking, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I know you got the dim lights on this morning. And there's Mister Sam from Brisbane, Australia.
Hey, Sam, good to see you.
Hey, hey Sam, you got to stop by here on your way up to see the little lady, or after the fact, because she might be mad. Well, she could possibly be mad because you're not getting the same thing from me that you be getting from her. You ought to be okay. She should be okay with it.
Oh man.
At least you don't try either, man. But thanks to the 3, 4, 5 people that come on here every week that and voted. And now I'm the number one live stream here on YouTube.
Wow. Congratulations.
You're the number one Yank in the Philippines.
Holy
Yeah.
I am honored to be here then.
Hey, I gotta tell you all this, man. This kid, the road from here to the land. You go over a couple of bridges. There's always dogs. One dog's clueless. The rest of them are like they know what's going on, and they really do. So we go back and forth, and there's the same dog laying with his head in the road every day, and we're going by it, and I'm thinking I'm just waiting for that freaking yipe or something. That freaking dog, man. That trike could be this far away from him. He don't move. Man, does that dog have confidence or what? Oh yeah, you're on. Uh, oh, you're conversing with her privately there, Sam. Are you? Sam played in a band in what the 80s or 90s? 90s, man.
Is he another one that's got a woman in Mindanao?
Yeah, his lady's from she's from here, Butuan. Yeah. She works up in Manila. That is until Sam marries her. But you know what though, Sam? You know I thought about that. You're in your 50s, I believe. I used to think about that beach thing and this and that, but the little things that nag you, you're gonna want to be as close as you could possibly be near a hospital because you don't want that paradise turned into shit.
And it
You
will.
know, I already I had to do a thing with the doctor with the breathing, my lungs all freaking, you know, filled up with fluid shit. You know, I never had that problem before anywhere ever. So I never. She said come back, but I'm like I didn't. But I'm going to go next week because I want to see how much fluids in normal congestion. You know, if there is a normal amount. Is she doing the laundry? She got a robe on there, Sam, or but anyway, it's been beautiful, rainy weather every day, almost every day. The this is the downside to building here. If you got 100 square meter, 120, that's now that I got 690, it's like I'm like up to 3 grand. Are you what? Well, I think so. I yet to go see, but while I was I had fluid in my lungs. I had congestion real bad, and I went in a couple weeks ago. And then and she took X-ray and all that, and I had fluid in my lungs, and she took like scar tissue. But my friend had the same thing, so and that says hello to everyone. So I had to take these pills, like $53 worth of meds for the month with this nebulizer. Is that what it is? Yeah. So I had to take that for a week, and like the very last day, because I could not get that shit loose in my lungs. And when I've been here before, and every week I was sick today. I'm thinking every week but a week since I've been here, I felt like shit. I never had those problems before, never ever. But while I was Sam didn't see it, but while I was um, going through this process, uh, I was choking, man. You know, I'd wake up. That little tonsil thing in the back of your throat, I forget what that's called. Little punching bag. That thing, it swells up, and then it gags you because it's laying on your tongue. And I was choking, man. I was contorting my body any way I could to get air. I didn't have air. I was. So what? She said she had. Um, that was serious too, man. I know what freaking people believe me. When you say you don't mind dying and all this other shit. When you're feeling like that's gonna happen, uh, that changes my way of thinking about it. Thinking and that's how I felt, man. I ain't hyping nothing up either. That shit just ooh boy. You know, it made me think. Well, this well laid plan of mine, to live in paradise is backfired on me.
Hey, Tony, did you hear about they had some wicked weather north of Chicago? They had tornado warnings just
I've
between
been up there by
Chicago
me,
and the Wisconsin border.
Walworth County, Racine County, Kenosha County.
It was going,
They've had some.
you know where Cicero is, and
Yes, well, that's one of the
it,
suburbs of
it was headed up to where Vernon Hills, somewhere in that area, coming
Cicero's
from
out.
west to east.
Yeah, Cicero used to be Italians and all that, but yeah, they've had some pretty. Wow, weather there. I mean, one day they had 39 degrees, next day it was 80.
It's hot now. What's it like down your way, David?
I don't even
Upper
know, man.
90s?
We
No, we had a pretty good breeze thanks to our friends from down under there because it's go heading into their winter, spring,
Supposed to be
or
91
fall.
here tomorrow.
91, huh? You know, every day. Oh, last night was beautiful sleeping. Let me see. I shut my phone off and I turned it back on. I have my computer set up from
I got the
69.
AC set on 73.
Oh, you want to stay? I used to have mine on when I had my house in Cuddy, the nicest one. I had that one on 78. Keep me from just
78.
from
You might
my.
as well not even have it on. Just open the window.
No, I wasn't. Well, man, I was working my ass off, and I had a truck, a brand new truck. Yeah, I had a classic El Camino. Shit, I worked. I worked all but the 7 sleeping hours a day I got. Not even that much because that doesn't add the time that you got off of work. 7 hours is included from your off time, so you could get home and hour ride wherever you live, and you get to bed. You figure, and then ride back. It's less than that. I was up 20. I worked. I was up 22 hours once, and that was. Uh, I worked Summerfest on it. We had festival shuttles, for the festival, Summerfest down by Lakefront. And I was tired, man. In my truck, I get off the part of the interstate. It's like a parkway. And then I'm going off. Fine, I'm almost home. I take a right turn. It's a 4-lane boulevard road. And all of a sudden, on my left eye, it looks like this. I see this brown. I thought it was a dog. It was a deer. And as soon as that deer hit the concrete again, it went down. And I was waiting for the boom like that, but its antler touched. There's a portion above the between the grill and the bumper, little fascia piece, like that. Had a little indentation in it from the deer, and I thought to myself, I didn't look at it till the next day. I thought, fuck, I gotta go to bed, man. If there's damage, I'll call up tomorrow. But there was a tornado going on that I wasn't even aware of while I was driving home. I'm not too far from it. I don't pay that much attention to the weather there anymore. Although I like to rub it in when it is 90 here. I think the weather here, Kiko, is it's like Florida. You go from December to or January to June. Everything's scorching hot, hardly ever sprinkles, and then once you get into July, then it starts raining uh, until December. It's kind of like that here this year. Yeah, man. You removed what? That? Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna have to. I don't know what that thing's called, Sam, but I felt that when I came home from my surgery 3 years ago, my brain surgery, and I woke up choking, man. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And after having had it a couple of times, I look in the mirror, and the thing's like laying on my tongue. I guess that's
I
supposed to
can't
help
for
you.
the life of me. I can't remember the name of that. I know
I don't
it's
either.
simple.
Somebody told me. I thought
I can't
I want
remember.
to say tonsil, but my dad
No,
had my dad had a bad thyroid, and it was as overactive like mine, and he had to have his removed. And I just looked. I just had mine checked March before I left. I had to scope stuff. Signal number one typhoon. Really? You know that's one thing about up that way. I mean, my wife's father's from. He passed away when she was 9, but he's from Bicol, over there by Naga, Camarines Sur. And when we're there, it's like all these weather systems. They come in just north of Mindanao, and they turn and go straight up all the time. You've had, it rains at the right time of the day, or it rains at night while you're sleeping. What's that called, Uvelo?
Uvula.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know if these things are related or they're just starting to multiply with the congestion. Because when I came here, everybody took turns having a cold or flu or whatever. Nobody covers their mouth there when they cough. So I'd get one from somebody, and then that would go away, and
I never
boom. Uh,
never heard of it swelling up or anyone having to get it removed. That's a first.
yeah, I never even know you could. I didn't think you could. Because when I went to see the doctor, that visit was $13. I mean, the meds were the most medicines. They kill you here on these medicines, man. But because I get about $180 a month, and my wife's got one that's shit, 3,700 pesos or something.
You find out, Sam, as you get older, the wrong things swell up.
Yeah, yeah, almost become inverted. But it's like a turtle put his head away. I don't need it no more for a while. He's seen a lot of it already. Swell. I my back too been acted up. My leg is just my leg my left leg in the morning would be wobbling. I've been pinched. I've been bad discs and a pinched nerve or narrowing nerve canal. But that's if I go and have surgery at home. That's with the cage for the discs. That's a year of rehab. So I ain't got nowhere to stay for no year of rehab. My oldest son's getting married. My other daughter lives in Green Bay, and she had Mr. Jack, Kangaroo Jack. Uh oh,
What is that?
there you are. Nice haircut. You're looking like you awoke from a great nap there.
Oh, it took me a long nap after a live stream and after a live stream. And, yeah, a little rested, I'll say.
How's the Mikester doing,
Drunk.
Sam?
I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say. Yeah, don't say it. No, no, I don't want him coming on here getting all nutty every. Hey, look, man. It's like we know each other well enough that we know. I mean, we read in between the lines. I mean, it isn't like we're out here broadcasting how effed up some one guy is all the time. But I mean, geez, you would have thought it would have been like some straight laced dude that got found out and he went crazy.
You guys can talk about me. It's okay with me.
Ah, shit, not you. No,
I'm okay.
sir. Yeah, anybody from the land of that says "suey pig" like that with
Woo!
enthusiasm,
Sweet!
with enthusiasm.
Sweet!
David,
Sweet!
didn't you guys have some storms the other day? You're
Yeah,
northwest
Here?
Arkansas, right?
yeah.
Oh,
We actually had them this morning. We had a bad one come through this morning. It was about 30 minutes or less, about 4 o'clock. It came in and rocked the house.
Yeah.
So, and
here, man.
the last couple of days in the mornings, about 3 or 4 a.m., we'll be getting these massive pop-ups that just,
Shake, rattle, and roll.
yeah, then it gets 95 degrees. So,
Right.
it gets hot as
Well,
hell.
cold
I'm
cold
re-
weather don't like warm weather, and we've had some pretty good drafts coming up from south down, Indonesia, Australia down there. So, and they're very welcomed, you know. Let's see what he says about this. Hangs down, yeah. Well, if you snore, I probably do because I'm always
So bad,
tired.
it vibrates and gets bruised and
But
slurs.
I don't.
Yeah.
I never had an issue. Well, knowingly, I never had an issue until I came home from my surgery, and all of a sudden, I was getting these dry heat. You know, I was coughing so much. I was like these dry heaves.
Well, Anthony, let me tell you what you may be experiencing in the Philippines, and I know you've been there and lived there before, but you actually may be experiencing some environmental conditions that's aggravating you.
I mean, like super polluted air.
Well, I'm talking about like pollens and bacteria. And so what you might need to do is just boosting your vitamin levels. Get out and take a lot
Well,
of vitamin C for a while until your body gets activated to the bacterias, and the different viruses
yeah,
and pollens that are in the Philippines again.
I
Do you
came here
take a
before. I never.
multivitamin?
No, I don't. But I sneak some of my son's A and D.
Now go get a roll of vitamins and just overload on vitamin C for a while.
But I was like that. But when I go back to that doctor, I'm gonna have her take when I talk to her. You know, all she's gonna do is advise me on exercises and stuff. So, Craig, the other down under guy,
G'day,
got
Tony.
There you go. Speaking of cold air rolling up from down south, there he is with the coat on.
yeah.
David, Kiko, Jack,
I had
people in
I had to,
the
I had to
background.
blame it on Sam.
People from other parts of the world.
So when I go back to see that doc, I'm gonna have her take like a litmus. Was it lipus or lip panel test?
Lipid panel.
Lipid panel. I'm gonna have her. Oh, I'll be drunk when I say it. Matter of fact, I went on a bender a couple of days ago. I had like 12, man. I
Well,
never.
don't do that right before your blood test.
I. But I was. But I become so accustomed to this smooth taste in beer. I swear, man. I'd do 7 before, and I'd be all that hell over, man. But shit.
Which one
I
is
know
that?
my doctor all messed up.
The
Well,
one
somebody.
begins with an S? Sanghi or
Yeah, that
Singha?
Singha, and I go down. One of my brother-in-laws is there because he had asked my wife if he
Jack,
could have one, and she said
Jack,
yeah. So
Jack's frozen there.
listen,
He's
I
got
go
the red
downstairs.
equestrian there.
Yeah, I go downstairs, so I count them. So there's 7. Mine, and I come upstairs, drink that one, and go back down. There's 5. Fucking 5, man.
Maybe
So
that's the problem. You're drinking too much alcohol in the Philippines.
no, man, I can count. Believe me, no matter what.
What's the percentage in each one?
Five,
Percent alcohol.
five, man. It's not 5%. It's not bad. I got my experimental Pabst Blue Ribbon one, aluminum can.
But my question is, are you drinking more than you did in the United States?
Nah, well, I don't think so. And I did that at home too with the Pabst Blue Ribbon there. I didn't do it all the time, but I'm like, Jesus, I was drinking these. All these years, I thought that beer was near beer, and I looked on the label and it said 5%. It's 5% too. Tiger Beer is like 5.5. Crystal Light, but I looked at the one metal. I bought it because it's a cool looking aluminum can, and that one is 4.3. So I'm thinking, what the hell is that shit?
Hey, Craig, when's your team play this week? What day?
1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
You notice he's got a different camera angle today.
Yeah, I just mix it up a bit.
Yeah, variety.
Showing us your good side there, huh?
What's your high temperature for the day there? About 17, 18?
Yeah, I keep searching for it. Sorry?
What's
Now,
your
let me
high
see.
temperature today? 17, 18?
Yeah, I think
Craig, you're
16 or 17. It's good. It was sunny. I was outside doing shit. It was good.
Yes.
You can tell it's cold there. He's wearing a coat inside.
Yeah.
905.
The house
You know,
is 20 degrees
trained-
Celsius.
I trained my phone so it finally said Butuan correctly, and now it's back to Butuan. Current temperature in Butuan, Philippines.
The computer's saying it's 8 degrees outside at the moment. So,
By you?
That's
Yeah.
my kind of weather.
Can't be me. Should I be shaking? Current weather in Butuan, Philippines.
everyone's had a good week.
Rain in Manila.
I didn't even say Manila. It says 78.
Yeah, but it's 9 at night.
It's from current weather in Butuan, Philippines.
We all had a good week.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good.
No work week again. That's cool. I think there's only one of us here that works.
Well,
How many
you know,
days a week do you work, Craig? 5?
2 or 3.
Oh, that's better.
I do Monday, Tuesdays, and Sundays when it's on. So 5 of the 11 Sunday on the roster. So yeah, sometimes I do an extra one here and there, help someone out or something. Yeah, pretty much locked in for that, so I can plan ahead.
I might have to try to make an appointment with my regular doc. I don't want to stay home no more than a week when I go back for my son's wedding. I want to get the hell out of there.
What's that going to be? The end of September?
Yeah, September 27th. I'm looking at. I already looked at flight. Well, I can't yet, but I looked for. You could do it up to a year from now. And they got business. They don't have any first class available, but no, some of them want 8,900. The business class is 550, 300.
Round
I
trip?
might have. Yeah, I might have to dig down and save up for that one because I can't,
300. Wow.
dude. I can't take that freaking. I swear to God, I can't take that coach, man.
you're one of those richy Americans living in the Philippines.
Oh man, no, it's just I'm in need.
You can live for a year on $5,300.
Oh my God. If I have to do coaching and I might choke the shit out of somebody.
Well, if you really don't want to come back, you can always just have them do like a FaceTime.
Hey,
You
you know what? Hey, it's like forget it. Ain't
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier, huh, David?
Yeah,
Use
FaceTime.
technology.
yeah,
A Zoom wedding.
a Zoom wedding.
Oh man,
That's what
I
we
wouldn't
do.
be.
People, that's what we started to do when people die. As a few years back, it dawned on me to let people Zoom call them or FaceTime them when they're dying, so they could say their goodbyes versus having them come all the way into town.
Fuck. If you can make it there, man. But it's a real different experience.
Actually, speaking of that, my uncle passed away this morning.
Oh man, sorry to
This
hear that.
morning.
Yeah.
83.
How old was he? 83.
83.
Make that shit, boy.
I don't think we're going to make that number.
I won't.
Not me, man. Of course, people like my sister, they just wallow through fucking life, and it's just,
She's got the Keith Richards genes, huh?
yeah, man. I mean, she supposedly had a stroke, but my youngest sister's gonna keep me updated. But I think my youngest sister actually got the idea that, she says hello and this and that because she's a big gossip queen. And is your wife pregnant? But she takes medicine for something that causes weight gain, and I don't want to tell my sister why because she stole my moment at my daughter's wedding when I come back to the table and sit down, and she's loud, and she says, "Oh my God, are you crying?" Fucking shut the fuck. They
Yeah,
turn
when you
around.
said that, when you said about pregnant, I know my wife was here 3 months and she was upset because she wasn't pregnant yet. I said, what's your hurry? You know?
They're putting pressure on them, man. You know.
Huh? And a couple
Shit,
months later, guess what?
yeah, you know. Well, my mother-in-law used to said well, it took my wife
Uh,
forever
the
to
good
get
thing is
pregnant.
we know what causes pregnancy. You know, we may not know a lot, but we know
I'm
that.
still in the dark about that. Maybe I'm being switched out or something. I don't know. Yeah, I'm down to zero now. You know, you guys here tonight, you may be the number one most watched live stream.
He's the number one Yank in the Philippines on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah,
Wearing a Green Bay Packer hat.
Yeah,
yeah.
Pecker.
And that's what I tell my dogs. You know, I tell them is, oh, you're the best black dog that smells in the whole entire house.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can tell them
Yeah.
anything. It's all about the tone, isn't it?
That's
I
right.
got this, I got this little one here called Loca. They call her Loca. I don't know what breed she is, but she's a funny. She'll chase her tail and. But they tie her up and she can't freaking move, man. So she gets wild when they let her off the hook.
And Tony, when you were talking about the dogs and the kids right along the side of the road, we're flying.
Yeah,
That scared me. I sat up in the front of the bus, right, going to my wife's hometown. That bus is flying through on these roads, and the kids that live out, outside the city, they're running, they're playing, they run right up the edge of that road, and they
Look,
know exactly. It's like having one of those electric fences collars on a dog, They
they
know
had
exactly where the road is because we're flying. That
not
made me so nervous.
not
Between the
all of them.
dogs, the chickens, and the kids, I thought we were going to waste one of them somewhere along the way.
Not all of them because that road that I walked there to get up there not too long ago, a few months ago, a 5-year-old kid got killed right out in the street. And today yesterday I walked up. I was walking up the road, and I see hear this. Anytime I hear anybody beep, I look, and it's these guys on motorcycles were having a race. I'm like, what the fuck, man? They almost ran into me. All right, Jack. But I was like, I was ready. I was ready in that trike I was riding. I was ready for that dog to start like, you know, looking for dog parts or hearing a nasty howl or some shit. The dog never moved his head, man. and we were like this. I ain't kidding you, man. Most of these dogs here have a sixth sense, man. I saw this kid in the back, and I think it was a bird. I'm not sure. I don't think it was a dog, but he threw whatever. He had a little sack, and whatever it was in it, and he threw it in the river. And it looked like a wing to me, but it didn't look like. I would have known if it was uh, whatever it was. It sank. So you know. They love dogs as long as they're little puppies. After they're done with that puppy thing, they could give a shit about it. But that's how it is here. In the dog cage, if I have a dog cage outside, I'd put that screen mesh, on top of the roof of the dog, so they can't toss anything in there to poison them that they'll eat. But a lot of these people here, I see a dog tied up, man, and freaking you can see his bones, man. I don't know what if anything that dog eats. But I seen one with such a bad case of ticks, man, fleas, and plus you could see its ribs, and I'm thinking, Jesus.
A lot of mange and stuff as well.
Yeah, but you know what? I've seen a couple cats like that too. There was a cat here last year when I was here. It was a baby one, so I don't know what happened. My first trip when I was in Makati, and I saw another cat like that. They want you to help them out.
That was one of my wife's first comments when she got here and we're driving like out in the country, and she said, "Wow, your caribou are fat here."
Caribou.
The caribou. Yeah. all the cows, they're real well fed. They're out in the field. Because over there,
Hey,
most of them are skin and bone.
and now you know how much traffic there's in Chicago, right? Hey, Jack or Sam, you know how much traffic there's in Chicago, right? I heard this announcer on a Chicago Blackhawk game, hockey game, and the score was really bad. And the announcer says that that goalie seen more rubber go by him than a dead cat on the Eisenhower. You know, I'm thinking because if you've ever been through it, man, you know that you have disabled cars and dead animals. And both of them are there. The cars get picked up before the animal do. But he had this raspy voice, sound like that dude from like Mr. Iron along there. That was an announcer for the Celtics. But he's smoking. Sam's in real estate, I think. Well, you know what? If I ever having this fence put up has been a freaking nightmare. You find these guys and they go, what do you want per load? Uh, we'll do it for 45. And then you don't say nothing. They call you back. We'll do it for 4. Okay. Then they do it, and they get the truck stuck. And then they have the same outfit has 3 trucks, and one is broken. But for some strange reason, the 2 other trucks can't dump anymore. We'll figure that one out. And then they tell you about this Chinese truck that can hold double loads 3 times in a week in a message. Okay, I'm not impressed here. Just when are you going to do this? So we get another one. They do this shit. They get stuck. So they start bringing in shit that has more stones so they can get a little ramp. I said, okay with the ramp part because that's the 145 that, it can be a little rocky. Who gives a shit? But it'll be going off of concrete sooner or later. And every time they had their truck stuck the other day. I mean that freaking thing was listing like a battleship. It was sinking in World War. It was, and it was loaded with stones, man, rocks, and they kept trying to yank it out, and they're on the high end yanking, but they should have went in with the front end and tried to pull like that. I don't know how they got it out because I didn't go up there the next day. I knew if it rains tonight, that thing's tipping over, man.
You ever watch on YouTube? They got videos, world's most dangerous roads. Oh,
Oh yeah.
man.
Well, you know,
some of,
you
some
know
of
those
those
movies.
countries, it's all
India.
mud. It's like 2 feet of mud.
You
They're
know
like,
those
yeah, we
movies
can
where
do this.
you see movies and you see these guys like driving fast and they look over the cliff and there's death, man, because it's 1,000 feet down. So when I took a bus trip in 2013, we went from here to Naga, where her father was from, Bicol region, by Chris up there. And this dude, the speed limit and they had a lot of hairpin turns, man. Snaking. And this guy's doing 40 plus kilometers when it's a 20-kilometer turn and it's raining out. And all these people are bitching because they
Is he on a
watch these
bike or 4 wheels?
form. It's a bus. It's a freaking bus. So these guys, somebody said, "What's your hurry?" These guys would fly. We left at 3 a.m. here in Butuan. We got to Surigao. We sat there for 6 hours after it was a 3-hour ride or something like that.
Yeah, after being in a hurry, putting everybody's life in danger.
So
Then you
and
got to sit for 6 hours.
we're on a
That's
non.
typical,
Is
man.
it all?
That is typical.
That's just the start, man. That's the start. So we get to this second port. I forget Ricardo. I think one was called Ricardo. I think it was Leyte. someone lady, because we went through Tacloban like a couple of months before it got hit. Because that name just stuck with me. And you ever see these T-shirts they sell at these novelty stores in Manila, Malaysia? It shows these jeepneys, all these people riding on top. Well, they actually do that, but it's a fine. But I mean, they had one up there in Tacloban that was packed. So we got there. I mean, there's these ladies on there. She's like 26 years old. Some Muslim chicks got like 4 or 5 kids, man. And they're all fucking snot. They got the flu, you know. I'm like, oh shit. And I didn't know. She probably knew English, but she was talking. She told my wife. She said, I'm not allowed to say no when he says he wants. Because I said four. I said, doesn't she know the meaning of the word no? But I kind of felt sorry for the kids, so I bought them some chocolate and stuff, and I gave her a little bit. And I don't know if the kids knew English, but I said, yeah, you like
They
that
probably
chocolate?
aren't allowed to. Probably aren't allowed to have chocolate.
Hi, Christian.
They're not.
Yeah. These kids were wearing the little girl's ass out. And I was before I got back, before I got up there, I was sick. Man.
Viking of Norway.
Hey, there's my long lost.
Brother from another mother.
I'm gonna bust freak very easily. You know, the first
Viking.
when you get on there, and they show it ain't a, we say a B movie is a, you know, not a low budget deal. This wasn't even that. This is more like a freaking deep sea. But they believe in, there's two adjustments. There's mid range and then there's bass and treble. They don't use the bass, so this shit's so fucking loud. You you have to shout to the person across the aisle, and that was my first experience. So I had no cotton balls ready or nothing. And I stood up, and I said to one of my sisters, I said, "Don't you guys believe in a little having bass to your sound here?" But nobody could help me.
You talking about,
That's one.
you talking about
That's one. Of the,
karaoke?
that's one of the first times that I realized you're preaching to the choir. You ain't nobody's gonna change nothing for you. That's the way it is.
You talking about karaoke?
No, no, no. Being on a bus and then wanting to lower the volume or add some bass to it instead, it's like Hannibal Lecter. While having to watch the same church channel for 24 hours, 24/7. It just anything, and then I finally fall asleep. Fine, 'cause I have a hard time falling asleep in strange places. On the ferry once I did, and my wife kept hitting me. I go, "What the fuck? I'm fucking up 20 some hours." So this little, I finally fall asleep, and I'm by the window, and all of a sudden this little fat fucking kid that looked like he eat Twinkies for 3 days, 3 meals a day. He opens the freaking window and it's raining outside. I know cold, man. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't know what was going on. And his dad came and grabbed him and he shut that window. I'm like, you little mother effer, man. This kid had to move and touch everything they saw. So he stopped at another layover thing, 5 hours, 3 5 hours. So I go in, they got Mountain Dew's about the same price it is here, back in America. And I whip out a 50 peso bill. The lady said, "That's too large." So it's not a little over $1, man. How can it be too fucking large? So luckily I had a 20.
How many times have you heard that, Tony?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
That was
You know
the
they-
first and only time he's ever.
When you get currency exchange anywhere, Western Union or the airport, Yeah, well, he's give you the 1,000 peso bill now. You can't fucking break that thing at the mom and pop. Sorry store. you you're gonna have to have a haul of half of the store. And still be too much. Oh my god! But that was a learning experience. I learned not to say in my mind, "What the fuck do you mean you don't?" You know. I told my friend he's coming. The first week of August. I told him about the situation where I stayed in Manila for a couple of days, and then my check baggage allowance went from 20 to 10, and I made the mistake of inquiring as to why. But there's no answer,
Is he
and
coming
you
by
just.
himself, free and unencumbered?
I said, dude, 10 kilos. That's like 3 pack of underwear and some t-shirts, man. I said, I said, I'm trying to understand this. Listen. That bag doesn't know whether it left the airport or not. What does it matter? Fucking- so he comes back because he says, "Oh, was this trip on your ticket?" I'm like, "What fucking difference does it make?" I said, "Yeah, it was." So he goes and checks it out. He said, "Well, if it was, it'd be on this paper." I said, "That's not even the point here, man. The fucking point is, why are you charging me? Because I was a half a kilo over, so I thought, great, man, they ain't shit this time. Otherwise I'm paying $100 both directions, and he
I
didn't
ended up
even
buying
have
one
it.
of those like digital scales before I
Yeah,
came
I
back
got one of
last
those.
time.
I got one. That was perfect too, man. Yeah, freaking nice.
Make sure it's like
So
1 kilo short, so
I
I
thought,
don't get overcharged.
yeah, I was a half over something, and what could be the fine for that sucker? 50 pesos, man. I thought I had it made till the kid said, "Well, it's a 3,500 peso." What? So when I was trying to
That's
reason with him, he goes and he gets that knocked down to 2,000. I said, "Well, could
Hmm.
you ask somebody why? What's the difference whether I left the airport or not?" Nobody
I
knows.
think it was Korean Airlines from the U.S. or from Michigan. That was like I don't know how it was like 16 pounds on a bag, and I couldn't break it up
Uh,
between other bags.
uh,
I had to pay $300 for another
hey,
bag, the fee.
when you if your carry-on's your only luggage, then they'll weigh it. But I have my laptop in separate. But when I go through the thing, I have it in the bag, the luggage. And
I
I
usually
said,
bring
you
a
know what?
laptop and a backpack as my
Yeah, well, as a
carry-ons.
dude, I jammed everything I freaking could. I had camera batteries and all kinds of camera shit. I'm going because I had a buying box that I just sent them. But I came up no matter what way I cut it. I plus I had 10 grand in there too. Any way I cut it, I'm a half a kilo over.
In my backpack, I'd have like 3 days worth of clothes just in case.
She drew. Yeah, you know what I did too? I would always bring new stuff, so they'd be rolled up, or the t-shirts would be bunched together. Well, sir, do you have anything to declare? I'm thinking, no, man. I'm trying to think. Maybe I forgot. And they were in. I bought new packets of T-shirts and underwear. I'm thinking I didn't fly 8,000 miles to be peddling some fruit of the fucking loom underwear. But I've learned I know I have learned that why ask why, because the person you're talking to, even they are baffled. Oh, he's back. I didn't even know he left.
No.
So look at this good crew here, huh? Got 2 in the background. There was 5.
That's because everyone heard you were number one now.
Yeah, I'm number 1. But I got that number 2 boiling at my ass right now, so I'll be ready to give birth tomorrow morning. Shit. I gotta drink something to make me fucking. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll have my wife make me eggs with a ton of cooking oil. Yeah, there you go.
So you had fluid in your lungs. Isn't that what
Yeah.
pneumonia is?
Yeah, that fucker. She showed me the X-ray was $5.36, man. And so I looked. Yeah, that bad boy, but it just had. There was part of the airway there that it was just like hard, you know. So all these medicines and that exercising thing was supposed to loosen it up, which it did. But I sent my wife for some Robitussin shit, you know. So because sometimes in the morning I can still, if I eat crap, you know, I can hear that gargling kind of sound.
Did they give you amoxicillin?
No, I don't think so. If they did,
Because I had a sinus, like a chronic sinus infection, and
Yeah.
they prescribed that, and my sinus is drained like right now.
I've taken that before. I remember, but I don't recall if that was it. Well, cocaine will make you do that too, though.
Yeah, my doctors
Your nose.
always give me extra amoxicillin, and I keep it here at the house because I get infections so easily.
Isn't
And
that
I
it's
kind
good.
of a penicillin, right? Except it's got a different name.
Exactly.
I guess my days of
I think the bio-counter here.
carefree, being blasé about the health thing here has changed for me.
Well, you're no longer a spring chicken, man. You're pushing 70. You know,
Fuck, and you're pushing 4 bills, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. 40? No, I'm 50.
You're 50?
Yeah.
4 bills,
They're like
400.
I wish I was 40.
Jack.
No, actually, I don't wish I was 40, and I take that back. You know, kind of been
I'm
there, done
42.
that. So,
Fuck you all, man. You just cancel these fuckers on the bottom.
Did you ever think you'd live to the day when you wished that you were 40 again?
No.
no, I never thought I'd live
That
past
doesn't
50.
sound good, does it?
My dad,
But
my dad
how
got
true it is.
razzed. My dad got razzed so bad. That wasn't a bad number for me. When I turned 43, it was like the world was over. You know, like it.
I think the weird
When
thing
I
for
was
me
going for my
was
first Philippine experience, about that age.
when I turned
Want to meet the
35,
wife.
you know, the 35-year thing is a bugger for me. I realized I
called-
was no longer young.
I got carded and called sir when I was 35. The guy said, "Sorry, sir. I thought you could have kept that sir thing."
I'm used to that.
Let's see, at 37, I had everything taken away from me thanks to the courts, divorce courts. And
Yeah.
at 40, I had a new life. So
You know what I say? You're a dick in a wallet. So,
See, and that's what people. That's one thing.
but
which is
mostly the
really
first
hard
one.
for us as humans to do. When things are taken away and everything goes bad, what that really does is opens a new door for us to step through to have a whole new life that's way better than the one that we
Yeah.
thought.
The
was-
worst thing,
Yeah,
the worst thing is the best thing that ever happened.
yeah. I'm
That's
a
what you're trying to say.
I'm a
not while it's going on.
Yeah,
I
well,
think
you have
we're all
to.
examples of that.
Yeah,
You
Except Jack.
except for Jack. You know,
I know Jack's mom's been married twice, and both his dad and stepdad died. So that's not a very good place to be.
It's so true though, because if you can get through it, and hang in there, then 10 years down the track, your life can be.
Matter of fact, I saw I haven't watched this guy forever, but I happened to tune him in. 20 seconds in Thailand guy Rob. They call him Thailand Rob. He's been there 6 years, and he kind of without when he's not the new guy in town. These Thai women want somebody that's got shit going on for him. This guy, had his fun over there. This other guy, Kevin, he died. He was a super guy. He was from sounded like he was from Australia, but he was from the UK. And and I saw the guy's last video before he's going home to work. The dude's only in his upper 30s, early 40s, I believe. So you could count, you could kind of tell he's like a fish, fish without water. So I sent them a message because I heard another. Everybody has a breaking point, but this other loser I heard told me how life was so bad for him. And he needed to change his life, and I can't. I said to that guy from Thailand, I said, I know. I said, I fell and wrapped my freaking melon on the ice. I never took a day off for this shit. So you can't, and I didn't let that stop me from my goal. I said, he was belly aching about he had a girlfriend that left him, all this, this other shit. So evidently his breaking point wasn't very high. But I said to him, I said, you got to keep on going no matter what. It sucks, but you can't stop. You should have thought to yourself, well, let me bust my ass for 6 years and then go to Thailand forever. Now you're going to come back home and you're going to work for. He's in middle management, bank or accounting industry or some shit. So, but come on, man. When things are tough, fuck yeah. What do you do, man? You can't just because nobody's going to do shit for you, but you.
When we were young, we were told you make your bed, you lie in it, right? So, you
But
got to deal with
that's the kind
whatever.
of person.
Make
That,
lemonade out of lemons, right,
that's
David?
one. That's one thing about my dad. He always wanted to work. He didn't do any extra work. That's for sure. Monday through Friday, he didn't do a shit otherwise. And I always had that work thing. When I was 16, I envisioned myself where I'd want to be when I was 60. And when I had a good job that went away, matter of fact, they stopped their productions in America, Master Lock now. So that was I was making $18 an hour in 1999. Then I had to start all over again. So I went to the bus company and started at 14. And when I left, it was 26. And now it's 29, 28 or something. But all that overtime shit's going away because their formula was like 8 to 1. I mean, it was just some of these dudes were catching $5,000 a month. So I kept going because I knew what I wanted, man. This is where I wanted to be.
Did
And I
your
said,
overtime? Did your overtime go towards your high 3 years or whatever they determined
yeah,
for
yeah,
all
hell
your
yeah.
overtime counted for that? No, see, only our base salary counted for that. And any
Every,
overtime didn't count.
my pension, the pension I got now, is a big in part due to the hours I worked.
Right, the
But
extra hours.
yeah, the minus side to that is you have shit fucking zero life
Hmm.
because you're so busy doing this other thing. And
Well,
but
that's basically what all the OFWs do. The Filipinos, they go overseas and work in horrible jobs and situations, and they send
that
all the
that's
money
that,
back for the family.
but that's kind of that's a normal here. That's a normality. It just we have choices when it comes to the choices nowadays are very limited. But when that lady said to me, human resources, I said because my dad had to take a less of a money so my mother could get half of his pension. That was only $800 a month. I'm thinking, when I got hired there, I didn't think about that shit. And and when I took the voluntary layoff, I got paid worth 15 years worth of shit. The government took 42% of that 15 grand. Plus, I was allowed to collect unemployment because I was affected by the NAFTA thing. So when I started driving the bus company, I was working part time. So I purposely picked the earliest off trippers I could get, and I was getting on. I was going in at 5 and getting off at 9 every morning for the summer. For that once my first summer, it
4
was freaking
hours,
awesome.
5 in the morning till 9.
Yeah. Freaking awesome, man. I said, why would I want to pick any more when I am by law I am able to collect unemployment due to the NAFTA? I was affected by the free trade shit. I said, fuck yeah, I'll take the shortest thing you got here. It doesn't matter to me. That was a beautiful summer. That was like when I was 16 or something. I'm like,
How old
man,
were you at that time?
when I started, I was 39.
No, that summer. That particular summer, you said.
Yeah,
How old?
39. Well, no, I was still 39. Yeah.
Was
Yep.
that in between marriages, or were you still married? Or what?
Let me think. 39. I was still married. I think that was 2005.
remember.
Well, how? You just tell me. How old were you in 2005?
60? No, 44.
Okay, yeah, I was divorced by then. So I had
What
a
time? The
battle.
first time or the second time?
Second.
Yeah.
I had a battle royal. With my doctor. Me and my ex-wife had the same doctor. So I go in there and I tell the receptionist, I said, I got a new card. Well, we aren't taking new patients. I said, no, I'm a current patient, but I have my own insurance now. But I don't think you can do that. I thought, what the fuck is wrong with this? This is the same chick.
Give me that money.
Listen, I'm a guy, so most guys, they don't. You go to the doctor, doc says, take this pill. Okay, I don't know about referrals and all this bullshit and renewals of the, you got to see the guy once a year to keep this going. So I called in Walgreens, I called my order, and they called me back like 5 minutes later, and they said, yeah, the doctor's office refused you. I said, what do you mean, man, refuse me? You'll have to call him up, to talk to him. So I call up. And I said, yeah. I said who I was. I said I was taking, that was for my thyroid. That taking one, that was it. And she says, right away, she says, do you know it's illegal to sell drugs and all this shit? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this lady?
Yeah.
I said, I was getting talked to, man, like I was some kind of fucking dealer or some shit, So I said, does the doctor know that you talk? Does the doctor know what's happening? Does she know what you're saying? I don't. I said, I don't give a shit. What do you think? Does the doctor know that you're doing this? And she said, no. I said, fuck you, lady. Hung up.
Did you know that it's illegal to be stupid?
I hung up, and then 5 minutes later, again, she called me. You can pick your order up at Walgreens in 5 minutes. And then when I went in there once,
It's all because you used the bad language on her?
no. This fucking lady was out of line, man. I said, you fortunate. I'm not my father.
Hey, you guys want to see what I just bought my wife? I'll show you.
Chastity belt.
Wait, make sure none of the other wives are watching.
Well, my wife's been bitching and complaining.
Don't mention
where she parks.
We gotta sell. You gotta want to blow up mail dolls.
Bought her a reserved parking sign.
I gotta find it now. What did I do with it?
It's in the garage.
You guys know I'm not real smart.
Hey,
All right.
listen, before you keep going there, the same receptionist. Years later, I go to this ear doctor because I got ear damage from my fall. She's working there now.
Stalking you.
Same attitude, man. Same attitude. I said, I left the office. She says, oh, are you going to make another appointment? I said, no. And she's talking the other day. She goes, I don't know why they do that. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is your problem?
Tony walks in and say, oh, Miss Congeniality again.
She don't. Oh, there you are.
That's what I bought the wife. Can you tell
I
what
see
it
that's
is?
some. I see that's some eyeliner.
It's
on
for the
that one.
visor. It's for the sun visor.
Yeah, she's been bitching and complaining the parking lot she parked in is so hot. So
She turned the car around.
Like
Oh,
a
it's a sun
block,
shield for
a
the
block
front
out.
windshield.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
It's pretty cool, except the dog's on the wrong side of the car.
Yeah,
No, it's America, man.
Right.
that's
Okay.
just a reverse image, Craig.
That's
Yes. The cameras do that, don't they?
So
Yeah,
the
he had his
black one is
iPhone on the wrong
Daisy,
setting.
the red one is Lily, and this is what the inside of her car looks like, literally. Hers is a Subaru. I don't know what this is, but
Did you ever notice that
Yeah.
from some YouTubers? They're filming like from the Philippines, and they're filming their spouse, and they're in the car.
Yeah.
They're on the wrong side of the car, right? I mean, and then I realized they just had their iPhone set on. I don't know if it's forward, reverse, however they do it. But
Right.
And
You gotta love that when they like David has his channel thing. Some of them have that, but it's always reverse.
mhm.
me and the second ex.
4
went
months
to,
later, they figure it out. Oh,
Yeah.
we were in Memphis the first time I went to Graceland. I was been there twice, and this lady was there. She was an Australian lady, and her husband, her stepson was going to Pepperdine. So this dude made money. That's a high like Stanford kind of thing. And
it's a high dollar university here, Craig.
yeah, well, big time. It's for once in California, and she wanted to go to Graceland, so she went out on her own. So me and my ex, you want to come eat with us? She said she was telling us she has twin brothers. One is a pessimist, the other one's an optimist. It's just and she was talking about the one that sounded negative. I go, that fucking guy's right.
What's their name? Yin and Yang.
I don't know, man. But she said she was telling us at dinner. She said she rented a car in California when she got there, and she said you should have seen the look on the guys' faces when I got in the passenger side of the car. They're like, "What the hell's wrong with this chick?" She was good company, man. That was my first experience of the. I asked her if 300 Stone was a lot because from the AC/DC song, She says, "Oh my God, that's it's huge."
What's the
One's a
stone?
Viking
20
guy.
some pounds? 20 something?
No, Stone, 300 Stone's a pig. Man.
14. I think 14 pounds is 1 stone, I believe.
Or
I
something.
thought it was
Well,
20.
Greg knows.
No, it's
What's
too-
up there, though, dude? It's like a 300-pound woman, man.
Is that only a
40
British thing, Craig, or they do that in Australia?
That's what I'm talking about.
pounds or
Stone.
Stone.
I did it. We did it when I was a kid, talking stones, because it wasn't until 1966 that we went to metric. So
Oh,
it took 30 years, for people were using both for a long time.
Oh, I
She
thought you
said-
guys were always metric.
She said,
Nah, it's 1966 we changed.
that's huge. She said, it's like 300 some pounds.
We even had
40
pounds and penny and all that stuff.
That 300 pounds would be about 15 stone, 14 or 15 stone, I think. I think it's like 20 pounds to a stone.
Nah,
she said
be like 20, 21 stone.
What did you say, 19 Stone in that song, Craig? I think it's 19.
I don't know. Is that a whole lot of Rosie or a different song?
Yeah.
Right. I can't remember.
See, if we still had RC on here, he'd Google it if he was sober enough.
It says that 1 stone equals 14 pounds.
Yeah, there you go.
Pardon? Say again?
1
14.
stone
14.
is the equivalent to 14 pounds.
Oh, so 19 Stone would be what?
Well,
19
times 14.
94.
all right, class, let's do the math.
19 stone would be 294 pounds.
1
Okay.
stone equals 14
Yeah.
pounds.
266.
Stones is 266.
Nice.
And if we need to do long division, we can, or long multiplication. We could do
Oh,
that.
yeah. Be 20 minus. Yeah,
If you-
okay.
I'm looking at that.
Calculators class, you can.
Oh, it's 300 would be like 21, 22. Something like that. It's
Huge,
fucking
man.
How many
So
stones
what
do
was
you have?
this song? Did I miss this song by AC?
Oh,
Where
a
did
whole
you get
lot of
300?
Rosie. Come
a whole
on.
lot of Rosie, yeah. That was written by some groupie he had after a show in Tassie or
Oh.
something. She was
I
really,
see.
she was large, but she was really good.
How do you weigh a stone? I don't know.
How many stones are you talking about, Tony?
Those 19.
19.
266.
There you go. Somebody knows this math.
That's because he hasn't drank
No, I
it.
cheated. I used the calculator.
That's going to set the curve for the rest of the class.
Sam could tell us that too. Maybe.
I got
Sam
dual.
Well, he's a little older than Craig. You know.
I got a smartphone that's smarter than me.
I was looking at
Dumb
up
phone.
my great grandfather's middle name was Bigelow. It must have been from his mother. I don't know if them guys carried that two last names back then. That's like Welsh or Scottish.
No, I don't think they hyphenated back then.
Nah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Man, that's expensive.
Because Loveless is originally is a British or Scottish last name. I mean, I think my great grandfather's mother's name was Mary Smith, so that's pretty.
That's real Italian.
That's pretty English there. I mean, short.
Should have been
It's a
Freya.
definition. Yeah. All kinds of good ones like that. Oh, my freaking back hurts so much lately. Jesus. I walk my walk,
You
but
need to
I
get
don't-
out and take longer walks and stub your toes.
Yeah, but I've done that. I'm starting to get on the downside of taking that long walk now because it's like in Hollywood, everybody's just got to say something to you and talk. When I was walking,
What?
when I was walking by when I had my broke flip flop, you know, it broke because it got stuck in the mud. And I hear these kids say, it turned like a 20-minute walk into a 45 or 50 because I'm dragging
What they say, Bastila.
for a while. I'm dragging my leg like Quasimodo, you know. So I'm walking down the road, and these kids say hi, and I kind of just go like that. And I heard them say "bastos," you know, it's rude. So while I was walking, without turning around, I stuck my middle fingers up like that. And the other
You're
kids
number
were laughing.
one.
Hey, Joe,
Yeah.
you're number one.
The other kids were laughing because they could, you know, they go, look. It's not rude when you're walking in 92-degree weather and you got one good fucking shoe.
What's wrong, David? Looks like you got indigestion.
You just swallowed a lot of aggression. So.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, well, shit me. I ain't doing
He's
that.
reading news that he doesn't believe.
Well, we're planning on doing we're going to be married like 400 years next year. And so I'm trying to find a cruise that we haven't already done to go on. And I got this thing in the mail addressed to Mr. That's me. So I've been looking at their website, you know, because they got like, hey, you get free airfare, free, you know, so I don't know.
The only catch is
Take
there's
the
a submarine trip at the end.
Take the
That's
cheap
what I
one.
Go on
To,
the submarine for
yeah,
$250,000.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to sleep in a bunk bed.
Soon? I don't know.
Want to go see the Titanic?
I would. But I'm trying to figure out. Holy shit, that's a lot of money.
That's you know, if he's the only dude that happens to, that's perfect. But for the kind of attitude or arrogance, you know, thinking, I can do this shit without these fuckers. I don't need their permission.
Who needs the laws of physics?
Well, yeah, fuck, throw that book out the window.
I'm special. They won't apply to me. I'll be
It's
right.
the new
But-
math.
But here's what the kicker was for him, is that they found, the human remains there, 1,600 feet from the clinic. So,
Who said
part of
they
them got
found
to see
human
it.
remains? Come on,
I don't know.
that's just a bunch of YouTubers out there making.
Could be a foot.
I don't know.
And one guy was an engineer, and he said, "Listen, that's about that. It would happen faster than you blink in your eye."
Yeah,
Oh,
you wouldn't
yeah.
even know.
Yeah.
You'd just
So,
be going,
even if you do, because you're the one that knows the danger more than anyone else there, that's what's going through your mind. I mean,
It's better than running out of oxygen.
yeah, that is.
yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't it shoot waits like 5 hours or 8 hours?
It's
All right.
quicker than
here's what I
quicker than a
think.
fatal heart attack.
My quick summary is this, just so you guys know. I don't know if I can afford to go on Oceanic Cruise Line. So just let you know that.
Okay.
I don't think they're in the price range.
$250K per pop, right?
Yeah.
Well, shouldn't say pop. That's explosion, not implosion.
Yeah.
Implosion.
Oh Lord!
My wife better get a better job. No, that's all I gotta say.
That's,
Well, quit buying them new houses, man.
Yeah, we're looking at some in Alabama now. I think we found a really cool one in Alabama.
Go to Florida. I know I said it's hot in Florida, but we'll go there.
It's hot.
I mean, David, listen, they're overcharging still, so they come down a little bit. But these houses that they're asking $350 for are still $225 houses.
Well, the problem with Florida is not the prices of the house. Look, you pay wherever you're going to be. The
Hey,
problem in Florida is your homeowner's carry cost, insurance,
listen.
property taxes.
I
Listen,
heard
Herc,
property insurance is going through the roof. in Florida.
And-
It is. It's going to be about 3 times
It
what
is.
you pay here, and it's now mandated that you must carry flood insurance. So no matter where you live in Florida, you have to carry flood insurance. In addition,
That depends. That depends what side of highway, like a Gulf Coast.
no,
If you're
not in
on
Florida.
if you're, I'm talking about my examples for it. If you're on the left side of Highway 19, you're paying big insurance for hurricane shit. Than you would on 19, on the right side of 19.
Right, but in Florida, it's consistent now. What has happened in Florida, there's a couple things that's really interesting. Is one, there's only one insurance company in Florida now, and it's Florida State Insurance. The rest of them have bailed, so there's nobody else there. So everybody has to go and join this state-ran insurance program. All right, that's a huge problem. So prices have just gone through the roof for your insurance. Claims aren't being paid. Claims are being denied left and right. So that's one issue. The second issue, DeSantis, which I don't think he's wrong or right about this, has decided everybody in the state, no matter where you live, anybody, any house, resident, or business in the state of Florida has to have flood insurance, period. So that's an additional roughly $700 to $2,000, depending on what part of Florida you live in.
I got left nut
Of
to
course,
fucking.
property value taxes are going up and up every year. Now, the real kicker with the insurance in Florida is this. It's roughly 3 times what I would pay in Arkansas currently. But what they just announced was this. There's going to be a new insurance company come into the state of Florida to help relieve the stress, because right now the state-ran insurance company would go bankrupt after one big typhoon or hurricane. So they brought in a new insurance company, but here's the problem. You as a homeowner do not get to decide who you go with, the state or this new one. The state will kick
Really?
you off, of the state insurance, throw you over to this company who now get to charge you a much higher rate than what you're already paying through the state. So that's what's going on, and you have no choice in it. It's not up
That
to you.
that
That's what's
that
going
is
on with home
that
ownership in Florida.
that is gonna break it, people's, because right now the folks that are there, they're like the retirees I'm talking about. They're like the last batch of people that buy the new car every 2 years. You know, they don't sweat that shit. They got the money. You know, and then the other guys coming up like me, the one below back of us, they're not going to be anywhere near. They're nowhere near can afford that. My
Well, here's
my
what's happening with the
listen, wait,
demographics.
wait, wait. My ex mother-in-law's house.
So
It
here's
was
what's
on.
happening.
It's in Spring Hill. Listen,
Florida
listen.
is, okay.
This house is in Spring Hill, and before my father-in-law lost his mind and died, he painted. It was white with brown trim. He painted it green, all this shit, but he put in a in-ground pool, beautiful, peaceful as heck. But the house, it was listed for 165 was the fair market value, and somebody bought it for 250.
Yeah, that happens right here in Northwest Arkansas all the time.
That's crazy, man.
That seems so cheap to me.
Okay,
So
so
you can't get nothing here under 400. Bottom.
Yeah. Where we live in
The
Northwest,
average in Victoria, the average house price in Victoria is 1.13 million now.
right?
gee,
Yeah, I'm
But
actually
that's
working,
Australian dollars, so it's not the value of US.
right.
look at rents too, man. Rents are $1,500 down there in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on a video series right now about living in Northwest Arkansas, and our median home price is over $400,000.
That's mean, but listen, that's kind of deceiving because they take all the properties, they take all the properties as a whole.
Average,
So people that don't understand are thinking, oh man, all these houses must be good if it's
okay,
medium income.
well, let me tell you this: in Northwest Arkansas, you can't buy any house under $250,000. You can't find one.
You can't buy
Single
one big
wide.
flat under 300 grand here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
One
stay right
bedroom
here.
flat, 300 grand.
There is not a home for sale under $250,000.
I mean, you just stick it out there. Then I mean, what else you gonna do?
No, we're going to go live down south because we like the southern culture and we like the water. But that's fine. We're going to make money off of our current homes. I'm not
Dude,
worried about that. But here's
those
what's happening in Florida. The demographics are changing. You know, so it used to be a place for retirees. Retirees are moving out. We're like, this is stupid. We're not wasting this much money. Because I could go to Florida and pay for a house cash, right? But I'm going to spend anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a year just owning it. So it doesn't work anymore. The people
All you're
that
going to get
are,
now are rich, super rich foreigners. Buy
yeah.
up the stuff.
Well, the people that are moving to Florida right now are young professionals that are working online. There's a huge movement of people that work for tech companies. They're going
yeah,
to go there because they can work remotely. They're not buying houses, but they're staying in condos and things like that and enjoying Florida. So that's hurting Florida also. So
there aren't
Florida's
enough of those.
not a good investment from a real estate standpoint at this point, unless you're doing commercial.
There's not enough of them to
Yeah.
pick up that.
All the money from China and Singapore
Yeah.
bought everything, especially the inner suburbans. You go back 20 years ago, they were like 200 grand. Now they're like close to 3 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
China can't afford to
Well, it comes back to your government policies, doesn't it?
go to
They're not
battle.
going to buy shit in China, but we let them come in here and buy
Correct.
fucking half the country.
Right,
They
right.
got neighborhoods or these glorious freaking. Well, one road got like 8 lanes on it, and you know they got out of 200 units, there's like 10 people, man. I mean, they overbuilt and they're borrowing, you know, lending and shit, and they're not getting their, you know, it's just total crap economics. It's like some grade school going in there and going, hey, let's build all this shit there. People will
I
come.
don't, I don't know what it's like there, but there's no, in my opinion, there's no politics in Australia. There's no 20-year plan on anything. It's all 3 years to 3 years to election. Just so I do what gets me elected. I get me 2 terms in. I can get me super and me pension straight away.
Get my
And
pension.
it's like 6 to 8 years ago here, they're saying, get rid of your electric heating, get rid of your electric hot water. So they're giving rebates to change all that. And now this year they're coming in the next 5 to 10 years. We've got to go all back to electricity, get rid of gas because gas isn't environmental friendly.
Right.
What absolutely complete by 2050 there's going to be no gas, I reckon. But it's like
They did that with you,
throwing away millions and millions
diesel engines and electric.
180 turns. It's just it's unbelievable.
Well, it's kind of the same thing with electric vehicles. You know, we're gonna find that they have a place, but they are not the solution. So
No, that is one of those things that companies that are heavily
If they were serious,
into
they'd
it.
fuck off electricity and everyone go hydrogen.
Look, you're in a country here. Do you think people in the Philippines could afford an electric car to maintain
Nah.
that fucking thing?
Nope.
but here's what you got to think about here in the United States, and maybe this is just me being an American, right? I don't want to be told what the hell I can and cannot drive. If I want to drive a car that runs on a gasoline engine or hydrogen engine, or if I want to drive a car that's powered by dogs, I want to do what the hell I want to do because I'm an
Sleepy
American.
Joe.
Oh no,
Sleepy
no,
Joe's
no,
got
no,
for-
David. That's what they want to get away with. Freedom of choice.
They're sabotaging.
The thing with electric vehicles too, well, they'll get everyone as much as they can on it, and then they'll bring in kilometre or mileage tax or whatever because they'll have to because they won't have all that revenue from the sale of fuel. So they will, they'll get you in the long run, whichever way.
One
Well-
party comes in and changes.
You know,
The
here
will-
electric cars run anywhere from 30 to 50% more than its comparable gasoline car. You know, it's the carbon foot. If you're worried about the carbon footprint, I do think electric has a viable solution. I think electric buses in these cities where the pollution is so bad is maybe a good option. But I'm not going to drive an electric car 5 hours to Dallas to go run around. I'm not going across the country in a damn electric car.
But no, the stupidity of it, electricity can still be metered. That's why they want it. If they were fair dinkum about environment and everything else, there is energy abounding all around us from the earth, from the stratosphere, from everything, frequencies and, the ancient civilizations 12, 15,000 years ago, pyramids, whatever, they had power source. At the grid of the planet, if they were fair dinkum, everyone could have a box, a cubic square meter in their house, but you can't people for that. So that's the whole point of it. So they're absolute hypocrites, all of them. They sit on that technology that could benefit everyone, but they want the power and the control. So we just destroy everything else.
They go, this renewable and it's cheap, but it's
but
not
it
cheap.
ain't renewable. They just pushing the agenda. It's renewable. Genuinely, it's not renewable. There's stuff there that creates more energy. Even on the moon, you go helium-3. You could get a fucking kilogram of helium-3 and run 100,000 populated city for a fucking year. But no, we're not.
It's not about doing the right thing. It's about profit. That's what we have to understand.
Well, it is. It's profit and control.
That's it.
And we sacrifice everyone and the planet for that.
That's
So
it.
that
You know what this guy said in one of those congressional hearings?
That's what we should all get upset about.
I agree.
Everything is a fucking lie.
It's a money grab. Everything's
One
a
of
money
those congressional hearings where they sit there and they
Anyway,
badger the shit out of people. They they push something one way, and in this hearing, they said that all the shit they want to do. They asked this guy these questions, this expert, and they said, how much would you gain by doing stuff this way? and they said it was like 0.0002. You know that it didn't make enough change. You know to be worth putting the money into all of this stuff.
Yep.
Because this electric stuff by 2030 they backed off on that. So I mean, when you get the different party in there, they go another way.
Yep.
I mean, Sleepy Joe's just doing what his cronies are supposed to do. But hey, we're all retired, so my getting bent out of shape over shit like that, no, it don't happen anymore.
We may be
Keep,
retired, but we're not retarded. You know.
yeah, keep sending me my fucking checks, government, if you're listening. I leave the younger people to pick up to carry the torch now. I'm done. I'm tired, man. I'm tired of that shit. Logic just. Oh my god. When like logically, like when I was talking about the airport thing. Well, this kid can't even answer me. Why do does my luggage know that does that airplane know that my luggage left the airport and came back 3 days later? What
Yes.
I said, look, man, I know there's I went through this before the first time or two, so I got smart. So when I got within a half a kilo, I thought, oh great, man, this ain't gonna cost me shit. And then to be told that you're only allowed 10 when you come in, I'm like, well, if I stayed here, I get 20. What's the difference, man? Tell me. He couldn't tell me, but he lowered it for me to 2K. And it's just sometimes logically, it just because that's the way we're all taught to look at shit. We don't logic. This is why this is the way it is, and we can
But
show you what.
but that is out the window now, Tony. It's all
No
just
Well,
logic.
yeah, it is,
pre-programmed robots.
but it is. But for us, for you and I, maybe a few others here, we knew one way of this and one way of that, man. And everything that you did or talked about had logic, and that's what makes shit work.
Remember when
Was when
schools used to have debate clubs?
yeah, I was in a debate club. Matter of fact, we had a teacher named he was a socialist. We used to call him His last name was Cooney. We used to call him Kami Cuneo. But we had a debate thing, and there'd be I don't know how many people were in it. But I said they were talking as though there were only two parties in this world, and give and take. And I said, well, there's always a third one that isn't going to be liking what number one or number two chose. So that's how shit goes. But
Shit definitely goes number two. That's for sure.
it 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 I don't I can't help it sometimes when I was on my job, I'm thinking people bullshit and what after my last 5 years there, I'm like, I said, dude, if they give you a transfer, will you shut up and go sit down? Because you're here trying to prove why you can't pay. I don't give a fuck why you can't pay. You know, I said, all I know is I was brought up. If you didn't have the money, you fucking walked. You didn't get a ride. I didn't even have enough nerve to ask a bus driver for a free ride. It's hard to let that go, man, because you got it, you know, got that fucking tattooed to your brain. So, all you young guys, Jack, you're the youngest guy here. Oh, there's Gary. He can hang out with you. Um, you can pick up the axe and the baseball bat and go. Mr. Gary, Gary is not allowed. Gary's not allowed to patronize other YouTube channels anymore.
I enjoyed you, Jack.
Oh Lord, and I ain't got a fucking one in the
Okay,
house.
what brand is that, Craig? We don't know. We're not familiar with it.
Miller? Can't
One that
see.
has the sharks on it, right? Or the
Yeah, Marlins, I think.
Marlin.
Great,
Yeah.
great, great Northern, super crisp.
I thought you were going to send me some of that.
I'm too tight.
What's happening, Gary? Well, I
Gary
didn't
is
put
in the house. Good to see you, Gary.
I didn't put in my order because I polished off
Gary.
the 12
How you
brews.
going, Gary? It's good.
My
I need
mother-in-law said that I was too loud when I was drunk. I was watching a game or something on the internet here. I went, woo, making all kinds of, like kind of like Craig was last week or the week before,
Yeah,
fucking jumping up and down to gyrate.
yeah, that's right. No,
Yeah.
I'm not jumping up and down today. I shifted 3 trailer loads of soil today. Body's
Man, you had your head in the cushion seats when they were doing each other.
Oh, you want to hear a funny that happened this week? We, here at the house, we have a couple of no soliciting signs because I hate solicitors. But on by the door, there's one that says no soliciting. See dogs for details. And we have a ring doorbell, and we get this a lot. But this guy walks up. You can see him look down at the doormat and says, "No soliciting. See dogs for details." Oh hell no! Turns around and runs off.
See a guy on YouTube, man?
Not put it on YouTube.
My friend Greek, his mom Greek, short little thing, and we had our girlfriends over at his house once. They lived in a low income. It was a nice facilities, but we are on a date. He had his girlfriend. I had my girlfriend. I eventually married, and his mom comes down. She's not wise to the ways of comprehension in the world. And she came downstairs and she had to go to work and she's like, no prostitution here. And she says it to the girls. And my ex-wife was like, what the fuck?
No, Mom, it's free.
He wanted a Greek chick for
Right.
him.
Well,
So bad, man.
you think it's free, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have to, we'd read her mail, and so to have her understand what it says. But what sucked about it was she was in this country for 40 years or so, but she always hung around all just Greek people. So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you were talking about earlier about Tony. Tony's talking about choice and freedom. But if you haven't noticed, we're all married or associated with people who don't question authority at all. I mean, they just
That's
my wife was like, well, you can't. If someone in authority, a policeman or something, my wife's like, oh, you got to do what they say. I was like, no, you don't understand. You don't have to do anything. We as Americans, and hopefully you as Aussies, have some freedom, where we don't have to take everything as the gospel truth just because someone is in quote authority above us, right?
just to make a situation go smoothly, I'd whip out my fucking license. Here you go, man. Let's just get this shit over with, man. I ain't sitting here debating, because if you're that ignorant of a cop, you're gonna throw me away no matter what. Because
But no, I mean like simple things, like someone will try to charge you something, and all our wives will say, "Oh yeah, you got to pay it." And they're like, "Wait, no, you don't. You got a question."
My wife would say, she'd say,
I disagree, man. I am 100% pro good law enforcement, but if I haven't done anything wrong, you can kiss my white ass. You're not
right. That's what I'm saying. If you're in the right,
you're not going to screw with me, no matter whether you got 10,000 badges or one badge or no badge.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. If there's something
Miss
going
Gary's-
on that I feel
Gary's-
is appropriate, okay. But if I don't, no, you're going to have to shoot and kill me to get it out of me. Just the way it is. But Gary, I see that you say that you never wake up this early. What is wrong with you? You're like an 80-year-old in a 20-year-old's body, and you're You can't get up early? Come on, man.
He's got the jack.
Yeah, Jack here.
Jack.
I don't know what happened to Jack's hair,
Uh-oh.
but
Here
his
comes
hair
a
went
toxic Norwegian nightmare himself.
Did you cut it yourself or did you
Oh,
pay someone to cut it?
aerodynamic.
I took the sheep
My
shears.
fiance cut it.
Oh, okay.
My wife cuts mine.
I ain't
Wow.
letting mine near any work.
Tony ain't letting her anywhere near that beautiful
No, I
voice he's
let
got.
her do it. I let her do it.
I'm not here to stay, Tony. That's why I'm taking myself off. I'm just giving Gary my email address.
Well, you give it to everybody because we can all see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No, he's going to put it in private. So
It said
Well,
private. It
only
said
the
private
computer
here,
bots
so
can find it
the
then.
people in YouTube doesn't see it.
yeah.
I see the link right here.
He sees everything.
In StreamYard, yes.
We'll
Oh,
protect it. We'll protect it. Don't worry.
Yeah,
No,
we won't,
you just don't understand the difference
Yeah, that's
between StreamYard and YouTube.
All right.
You can't-
That's
But
good,
that's
though.
okay, Tony. That's okay.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. That's a good thing not to know
Kristen, you
everything.
got to remember what you're dealing with here, okay?
Yeah, listen to this fucker.
Dealing with
Fucker sitting in his shorts drinking a beer.
He's a
dealing with
retired
bunch of-
rocket scientist now, okay?
dealing with a bunch of people that ride the short bus. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gary,
he never did say how long the bus was that he drove.
Gary, if you go up on the panel now, you can read the private chat. There is my email address.
You can read it.
Got to be on the
like-
panel to do it, right?
How do I get on the backstage? If
Tony, can you have more than 6 people on your panel?
no.
Ah, see, someone's got. Oh, Viking just dropped off, so
Yeah, so Gary can come up.
Gary can
I've
come
been,
up.
I've been
see the
thinking
private
about
chat.
all these folks that made me number one here. You know.
Yeah, obviously we didn't make enough money to where you can have more than 6 people on a panel.
Yeah. Well, I've
Keeping
been
all
kind of
those millions for yourself.
I've been kind of focusing on living.
Peso millionaire.
Yeah. I woke up today. I felt like, oh shit, man. Oh, wait for Gary. It's like waiting for the warm-up band to get off the stage here.
Tony, it's awful quiet there. Did everybody go to bed? Even the dogs?
No, the dogs in the separate.
Our dogs
Yeah.
are here.
Go to bed late here and then get up late.
It's overcast, getting ready to rain again here. So our dogs thinks it's nighttime.
It rained a little bit here.
What do they do during severe thunderstorms? Do they not like it?
Ours are pretty good. You know, they don't freak out, but they definitely are happy just to hang out on the couch.
I had a shepherd husky, and she would just be nervous. There's Gary.
Yeah. Our
Good
black
morning,
one
Gary.
gets a little shaky at times, but other than that, you know, it's not horrible.
Hey, Gary, you got to trim that bush too, man.
It's Santa Claus.
You get that stuff in some love juice, and it's gonna stick.
Soup
When you get
strainer.
on there, get your helping of that love juice. It's gonna stink.
You gotta wash the hell out of that thing.
You can
Okay,
borrow
That's the
mine.
last thing he'd have to worry about. He'd have to worry about
Yeah.
putting his back out.
Hey, are you wearing pants, Gary? What's going on?
How do I?
You're not in the bathroom, are you?
No. I'm sitting here in my room.
You see those
how do
bloopers,
I,
man?
How do I go to the backstage to get that thing?
Just
Right
look for the
there.
private chat by the
Go
car.
down in
Private
chat.
Private chat.
Hit the chat down at the bottom. And up
Yeah.
top on the left will be private chat or comment. Go to the left where it says private chat.
At
And
your
there
other
should be
left.
something from Viking. He probably put a
Well,
link
just,
there. Or,
for mine, it
Yeah.
just says chat and comments.
word.
So maybe you're
Okay, we'll do the one on the left that says chat.
There's
Like
nothing
in
there.
Norway.
Oh man.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Let me
You can
see.
see Christians.
They left it. He's
See?
he's
Did you
dusting
click
off
on
the
Send it
chat,
easy.
Gary?
Let me make it easy.
What'd you just say?
Yeah, paste
Let me
it.
try and make it easy.
Jack's
No,
gonna.
I mean there's nothing nothing listed under that. I see comments. And
Oh.
On
then
the
I
right,
see,
chat on the left. Correct?
yeah, I know. I'm pushing
Hey
it.
Sam,
but
good night.
There's
Chat
Good night,
on the
nothing
left.
Mr.
there.
Brisbane.
Night, Sam.
Nothing here for me. Nothing.
I'm looking at chat and I see it right there.
Yeah, I
see
can
it also.
see it.
I just see
Private,
it.
What
dude.
did
He
you
put it on
see?
there
Do you see
again.
my
Someone
comment?
just
Right?
typed,
Yeah, I can
Type
see yours.
nothing
You
here.
said nothing here, Gary. I
yeah,
can see yours too.
Oh, look at that
I
with your
don't.
good eye.
I
right
don't see
above
anything.
yours.
I don't see it. Oh,
Now
okay.
you
Now
see
I.
it?
Bingo.
Okay, now I see it. Yeah. Okay. Let me
Maybe
write that down.
Probably because you
Maybe,
got in after he got on.
after
Maybe
the
that's why.
comment
maybe
was
you had him blocked, man. Maybe you had
Okay,
him blocked.
Jack.
All right. Thanks.
Maybe,
Let me write that.
maybe,
Let me write it.
maybe the guys at that white channel blocked.
Let me write it down here.
No, yeah.
Put your glasses on, Gary.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I should, but it's the other thing on that.
Popped off of there, man.
Huh?
He pop. He pop off
Yeah,
there.
I got it both ways.
All right, Gary, check
Okay,
your
I guess
check your
that's
Facebook Messenger. I sent it to you.
well, I got it here. Okay. Yeah, good. All right. I put it down.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm on still on anything in the background. I don't know how to
Yeah, yeah.
operate.
Yeah.
I sent
Hey,
to your Facebook, Gary.
What's
Where's
that?
the echo? Echo.
I sent to your Facebook Messenger.
Gary,
There's
when are
always
you heading to the Philippines now?
it's hard to tell now.
10 years later.
You're
Change of plan.
77?
Timbuktu now.
I want to wait till I'm 80 years old, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, not too far off, really.
And I can't wait to have you walk down the streets trying to look for addresses.
That was a
And
nice
they
day.
don't have them.
Has
They don't
all
have
the money cleared to your financial advisor?
That was a good, nice. I liked your the video there, Tony.
Oh, well,
I like that music you chose was perfect for that video.
yeah. Yeah, found that on YouTube.
Around Wisconsin?
Hubert
And you
too.
can tell he's rich. He just rides in the back of fancy cars taking videos. You know, that's
No, he was driving that Toyota hard, wasn't you? Like driving it like it was stolen.
That's it.
Yeah, that was during COVID.
Was that a safe neighborhood to walk around?
Oh yeah, popular with the children.
Oh, okay.
It's bordered by part of the inner city, and then they got Brady Street is a popular hangout for the college students.
There's some places in Philadelphia, you go there on a Sunday morning, they look real beautiful and nice to walk around, but don't go around when everybody's awake.
So what's up, man? You been getting any action lately, Gary?
Nah, nothing much going on here. I'm still cleaning up this room.
You made a lot of progress there.
Yeah, I made a lot of progress now.
You get all your money card accounts redone?
It looks so neat that you got to stay there.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just have to save up some money now so I can have some for the premium for health insurance, for hospital health insurance. Um,
$800 a month.
no, it's not that much. It depends on what plan I pick. There's like
Tony, what'd you say you paid $5 for an X-ray, Tony?
536.
Yeah.
I will be
But
sent
the meds were
again.
expensive though.
I get this list here of all the different plans, and
Those things are so effed up. Gary, I watch. You know, you ever hear Gio in the Philippines? There,
oh
Gio. You know
yeah,
Gio.
yeah, I
Well,
know.
well, go to his website because he's got a guy that he did a talk with. This guy was an insurance salesman in America, and he picked up doing it over there. He knows about all the different packages, and there are some that you can afford, but they have a copay, like a 2,500 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
But
that's called like deductible.
yeah,
Hey,
did I know?
Gary, I did a bunch of research on this for health. And when it came down to it, and I looked at everything, I spent a couple of months doing this. What I found was the smart way to go, especially if somebody with health issues like mine, was no insurance at all, but to bank the money and keep it and pay for it out of pocket. It would have saved me lots and lots of money just to pay for it. Keep the money in the bank that I would pay for a premium, and then use that money when I needed it for medical. So I'm just saying, you do what you want.
But I'm concerned though. Let's say that you need an operation or something. That might exceed the amount of money that you have and saved up.
Well, they have different packages that'll cover all that. That's why you got to talk to the dude.
No, I'm talking about what David's saying here.
Right.
He doesn't have a package, so
Here's my point though.
Blah.
The odds are of needing that operation versus the money if you're good, and let's say your premium is
What's going on,
$300
Jeff?
a month, and you put that $300 away and you keep it and save it. Don't blow it, not alcohol or drugs or hookers, And if you
Or
save
both.
that money when it comes time for that operation, if you're willing to have it in the Philippines, which is a big if, then you have the funds to cover that. I'm just telling you, you may have to go and put some of it on a credit card, but you're going to be thousands and thousands of dollars ahead, because what you're going to find out is there's a whole lot of little gotchas in all of these insurance policies. They're not there to serve you. You got to remember this about insurance. It's not there to serve you. It's a business. They're going to make money. So they may deny your claim anyway. You may have to pay all of the cost of that operation up front, and then they may reimburse you a proportion of it.
No, they got a card.
If you got to pay for it up front and get reimbursed, maybe, then you might as well just pay for it up front.
They got a card they give out,
Just
like a credit card that Phil in the Philippines had. He came back to America when he didn't have to. He went to the hospital once, and he gave him his card, and they accepted it. So he was surprised.
well, my thing is if I'm able to plan for this operation, I'll come back to the United States where I have VA benefit and I get it for free there,
That's correct.
But
Now,
I'm concerned with like emergency things like appendicitis, where I need an appendectomy.
Tony, what was the card that Philly had? What kind of card did he have? What kind of card?
He didn't. He had his health insurance was from the state.
Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Because no, I don't know. I don't remember what I don't think he ever answered that because I asked him questions. That's what kind of pissed you off. You ask somebody a question when they're talking about it, and then they don't want to tell you. But he had the kind of insurance he has is almost like that TRICARE that the military people have.
Well, but he was military, so
No, but he keeps it. So when he did come back to the States, he used that and it worked.
right.
Yeah.
But Gary, I
But he
guess here's part of what
found
I
out
would
he could have
say.
stayed there.
I would say this: if you're so worried about what can happen to you in the Philippines, health wise or any wise, then don't go. You know what I mean? Because we went, and look, I have heart failure, kidney failure, lung failure, and I knew that there's a religion with me living in the Philippines that I would die much sooner in the Philippines than I would in the United States. No question about it. So, but I wasn't going to worry about it but we got alleviated by the stinging typhoon. So that changes life in general. But my point to you, if you're worried about all those things, then maybe it's not the right place to go. Yeah.
Well,
Take
the
good
things
care of
that
yourself.
are drawing me there are of higher priority than my health thing. I'm thinking more in those things. I don't actually. I'm not worried about it. I just want to
It's
be
more important.
prepared. I just want to be prepared, you know. And this is one of the preparations. That's like when I got my vaccines. You know, I took the blood test. They told me what antibodies I don't have, and they gave me 11 vaccines.
Here, wouldn't it hurt you if you waited all this time and you finally get there and then your junk code don't work no more? You know.
Talking about putting all your eggs in one basket, I'm telling you.
Yeah, banana hammock, man.
I
My
just want
point
to
is,
have
if you
this
want to go to the Philippines and enjoy the Philippines, just go
Hey.
do it.
David, check
do
out
it.
that.
Well, that's
check
what
out
I'm gonna
Gio's.
do.
Check
That's what
out
I'm gonna
Gio's
do, Dave.
channel, and look at his links from the insurance guy.
I have, Tony. I have.
And what do you think of it?
Like I just said, I spent months studying the insurance situation for an American going to the Philippines. Months. And my opinion, my vote was it's a waste of money. I know he did a bunch, and there's a lot of other research.
How?
I personally called all the insurance companies and talked to them. I got plans sent to me. I got cost. I got everything and put it together. And in my summary, is it's a waste of money.
So tell me in short here, the policies that you have with the deductibles. You say check that guy's stuff out. What were the whole? I mean, what was bad about that particular one? You know, like a $1,500 quote or.
That's not a copay. That's not a copay. That's a
Whatever.
deductible.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay,
For the
listen
year.
up.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying any research he did was bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying any of the insurance policies that you personally like are bad. What I'm saying is, when I calculated the numbers, okay, did the math, and put a risk factor in there for myself, it would have been a waste of money. I was better off to take that $650 something that I was going to be charged every month, $650 a month.
Shit.
Better off to put that away
Put a
and
guam.
save it and pay for my medical out of that. It would have put money back in my pocket.
Put a Guam or away.
I'm
if you
not
got
going for
something
that.
interesting.
I'm going for like a $300 a month policy.
Gary,
Well,
Gary,
it's up to you. I'm just saying, from my opinion.
These
Gary,
are
you
direct,
can use,
direct
you can
bills
use
too.
Gary, you can use traditional Medicare in Guam.
My what?
Guam.
And they have a
East-
VA in
It's
Manila.
about 4 hours from Manila.
Yeah, well, that's if I'm going for some operation that's planned, and I don't usually have any planned operation
You don't have
because
planned nothing.
I'm not planning any to go there. But
Usually operations are unplanned.
for
I
operations,
don't plan.
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
plan
for
on dying
emergency
either.
things. I'm just concerned about appendicitis.
Like I said, what about your nuts, man? I mean, what if you gotta get snipped or something? Whatever.
So appendicitis in the Philippines would probably run you $1,000 USD.
I'm tired of it all. There's always Hawaii too there, Gary.
Like the VA in Hawaii hospital.
That too.
And I think there's a VA clinic in Manila now, right?
I
Yeah, but
can't
that's
go
just
to that.
outpatient.
I
Chick.
can't go
That's
to that though.
outpatient.
I am 0% disability.
Yeah, that's outpatient for drug medications. So
Okay.
No, 0% in the U.S. for me is free medical, except I pay for my,
it's been free.
medication I take for, blood pressure and cholesterol medication I take.
That's only under a certain income level.
Yeah, that's right, because I'm under that level.
I tried to tell my dummy sister about the she says, "Oh, I got good RX, I need medicines. I get it through that." I said, "Yeah, but not every one of them."
Yeah.
Fucking dumb.
I went through the whole sign up thing with them, and they said you make too much money as a veteran. So
you
it's
make
not
too much.
it's not a program for all vets. It's a socialist program.
Right,
You wanna
exactly.
go claim, make a claim on
If you've worked all your life and made money and have a pension now, you're not as much of a veteran as someone else that doesn't have that kind of money. That's what they're saying.
I hated that shit, man.
Which is just
I went
it
to
should
a
be
5.
equal for vets. If you served, you should get the same benefits as any and everybody else.
Hey, I had a friend. I had a friend that was Vietnam era vet, which means he enlisted in 1976. So he was entitled to the same freaking benefits that they were because he was in an era.
Uh-huh.
I don't get none of that shit.
When
Matter
did
of
he
fact,
enlist? When did he enlist?
76.
Well, that was after the Vietnam War.
But it was Vietnam era.
Really?
The involvement didn't end until 77 or something like that, or
Oh, I
78.
didn't know that.
Fall of Saigon, we were out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
Well, that's what I am too, a Vietnam era veteran.
well, then here you go.
But my point is, Gary, look, don't let a bunch of bullshit get in your way. If you want to go to the Philippines, pack your bags and go.
We've been down this rabbit
Stop
hole.
worrying
That's
about
what
shit
I'm
and
doing,
just get
but
your ass over it
I
before
have to get rid of
unable
my
to walk.
stuff for one thing. I have 7 people that I'm giving my stuff to. That certain people I give certain
Whether they
things
want
to.
it or not.
Well,
Some
they
girls, I
do
don't
want
know.
it. They do want it. Like my art. I have an artist friend that I went to school with
Your
there,
STD.
and she's a teacher. And I
Hey.
gave her all my art supplies. Some storage boxes, some projector type things that might have
Barter
be
and
of
trade
use.
thing, man.
What's that? No. It's just
Barter
give
and
away.
trade. Give me
Okay,
some of that.
now look, and I know everybody on this panel would give you this exact same advice. Before you sell out your life and give up everything that you have in the United States, our advice, and I'm sure there's everybody on the panel and in the world to tell you, go for a vacation in the Philippines and then come back.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in coming back, David. I'm
That's
going
my,
there.
I know, but
Jack's situation is a little different.
I'm going for.
I know.
I'm going
This
for
guy is
some reasons.
correct.
Michael,
My
let
main
that
Bring your
reason I'm
vacation
going
and
for
come
is
back and
cost of
figure out what
living.
you're
I'm
gonna do.
leaving here because of cost of living.
I
chip
understand
into
that.
stuff.
Gary.
You might absolutely
Hold on.
All right, listen. I get it, Gary. I know that you want to go there for the cost of living. What I try to encourage people to understand is, unless, and everybody knows this, and I'm sure you've heard this, unless you're willing to live like a Filipino, you're not going to save as much money as you think in the Philippines.
No.
That's why I encourage everybody, one, the Philippines is a way different country than the United States. Way different. And social, economic, weather, culture, everything.
The government's
I
like
always
ours.
encourage everybody to go visit, get a taste for it. If it tastes good, then is when you get rid of everything and you go do it permanently.
And
Because
Gary, it
it
smells
is
like
not
tilapia.
as simple as, hey, I'm going to save all this money living in the Philippines. No, you are not going to save all of this money living in the Philippines unless you're willing to live in a shithole out in the Providence and be just like a Filipino.
Or with the gay lover.
I'm just,
And
Well,
don't come out here to find a
for
money
for me
manager.
though, okay, about getting rid of all my stuff, I have to get rid of it anyway because
You gotta die.
that's fine.
eventually, I don't know when, I'm gonna die, and I don't want all this stuff anyway. I want to live a
I'm good with
simple life without anything,
Minimalization is great. I'm a big believer in that.
Uh-oh.
I think you should give away stuff.
So I'm getting rid of everything.
Oh,
And
I
now,
do that.
now I'm not getting rid of, like, let's say, my furniture because I can't move it for one thing.
It's right there with you.
So it'll stay here. I mean, I could take a trip there and come back
Just
here,
stand
and
there.
I could come do that because I have a room here in this house. I've lived here for 22 years now. So
It would
You
be
paid that house off. You paid that house off.
yeah.
Put it that way.
It
well,
would
it's
be
not my
smart, Gary.
house. So I just
Gary,
rent
you're
a
a
room
smart
here.
guy. All I'm saying is use the brains that God has given you, and to realize that it's like even going to Australia. Australia is a lot like the United States. I think. Never been there. I kind of think it is. But before I decided to go move there, I would want to go visit there because I think it's a lot like the United States, but I don't know.
Hmm.
You need the experience of living it before you can make a decision because, it's, I don't know. I haven't.
It's
Yeah.
like Ronald. He went back to Washington from being, in Manila, and he's, deciding, and he's going to come back. I think next month, I believe.
Well, he's been in the Philippines several times, so
Yeah, but relationship wise and stuff like that, and living wise, where he's living, where he's going to be living at. But I wouldn't just drop into the Philippines and just like, I'm done with the U.S. I'm not going back. No, you get your feet wet
well,
first.
that's if you have a
not
if you
take the
have
whole day.
family, if you have family in the U.S. or you have
I
property
have
or
family
something
here,
in
and
the
they don't like
U.S.,
me.
but
We don't have family in the U.S.
you don't have family in the U.S. Yeah.
No,
Well, you're
we
in.
don't.
I haven't talked to my brother back home in Michigan in about 4 years. My mom wouldn't even answer a phone call.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing I will encourage you.
You're stuck.
Gary, look, I'm not trying to persuade you not to go do this. I think you should, but I think you just got to use some logic to it. The other thing I would encourage, where you have,
I'm snow here.
you need to make sure that you worry about where you're going to land and how you're going to get from A to B. If you don't have a network or a support system in a foreign country, you're screwed. And if you're going to rely on the local Filipinos to look after the white foreigner, who they're going to perceive to have money, and to look out for your best interest, you're incorrect.
Yeah, I'm setting up
You
that
don't-
networking now. I'm working on that network now.
You don't need to come here to find a financial advisor. You've been
Yeah.
financially doing it yourself for 73, 74, whatever, You don't
then,
need to
of
do
course,
that
I'm,
because you're
I'm
going to
working on
your
that
money
networking.
straight out
I'm
the
working
window.
on that networking now. In fact,
But Gary, here's the other thing I will tell you, and I've told other guys this. There's a lot of guys I've talked to over the years. Say, look, I got my friend the Yank in the Philippines who's encouraged me to come over. So, and I'm just using him as an example. I'm going to use Jack. So I met Jack online through YouTube, and Jack is like, yeah, come on over. And so the guy goes over there and hangs out with Jack, and for his 28 or 30 days, whatever it is, he gets a taste for the Philippines. But what he's not understanding is Jack is already established in the Philippines. unless you plan on moving into Jack's house, which is probably not the smartest thing to do because you don't want to live with, other people. You're not getting what it's really going to be like. You're going to be there for 28 to 30 days and you're going to become a vacation millionaire, right?
Change to 59 now.
You're going to go hang out with Jack and he's going to take you around and show you things. You're going to go to the bars, you're going to meet the girls, you're going to eat a lot of food, you're going to have a really good time for 30 days. That's not day-to-day life in the Philippines. It is not.
Well, that's not what I'm seeking anyway.
You want booty thing, man. That's what you want.
But I'm just telling you, there's a little bit more to it than just showing up going, I'm
You
here.
have to take pants and
Well,
pants.
I am chatting with other people besides on the panel here.
That's great.
You're being bamboozled, man.
No, I don't think so.
Led astray.
I encourage you to do it because now I want to see how it pans out. I encourage you to do it.
Well, I'll be doing it, but I'm not. I have to save up and things first.
Yeah, it's,
Well,
Save up your money. Stop sending money and buying boxes of people.
Well, I
you
can't really
have
send money
not even
anymore.
met
I can't send money
in real
anymore
life.
anyway because I've gotten rid of accounts and things.
But one thing I'll tell you, and I told a
No,
lot
well,
of
they got rid of you.
and this may be a little offensive to people, but you know me, I try to speak very honestly for myself.
Yeah, I know.
And I tell people this, whether you like me or not, I don't really give a rat's butt.
Brr.
If you can't afford to live in the United States, it's going to be difficult for you to live in the Philippines.
I'm out of date, but I spent 3 or 4 months there every year for 12 years, and I came to the conclusion that I could not afford to live there. Okay, that's why when I said to Elaine, well, if we get married, you come to Australia, because I didn't have the financial or the job or what. I couldn't afford to live there. Now you're retired is different, but it's not. And everything is so hard. I mean, I had great 3 or 4 months chasing pussy every year. It was great, but even that wears thin. But it's like, you know what I mean? I could not afford because I had no backup safety nets or anything like that. So when I asked Len to get married, I said, well, going to come live in Australia because I'm set up here.
Yeah,
But I couldn't afford to live there. Not the lifestyle I wanted,
yeah.
So it's not, and I think now from my relatives or whatever, it's more expensive now than it's ever been.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
And fuel and everything else. And
yeah, I heard that.
it's been back a couple of times. But 2009,
That's
but it's
Does
everything.
Craig look like Gordon Ramsay?
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah,
Does Craig look like
he
Gordon
does look
Ramsay?
like Gordon Ramsay. He does look like Gordon Ramsay. You look exactly like Gordon Ramsay.
Ivanka.
Who's Gordon Ramsay?
He's my brother from another mother.
English chef.
Master chef.
I think he's Scottish.
It may be, yeah.
I think he's Scottish.
I think so.
Because I think he says on some of his things, I'm not bloody English, you fucking.
I wish I had his money.
I like listening. I like watching his different shows.
But here's one thing. But one thing I'll say, Gary, just
Yeah.
as advice, if you're living on Social Security in America, it's only Social Security. It can be a little tricky because Social Security can send you a "Are you dead or alive?" letter, and if you don't respond in time, they consider you dead and take your money away. So you have to have a anchor point in the United States that can help you. You have to have backup plans, and you can't just count on credit cards. So if all you're doing is, and I'm just throwing this out, if somebody's making, because I've talked to a lot of guys over the years, man, I make $1,000 a month. I'm going to go to the Philippines, and I'm going to live like a freaking king. Well, no, you're not. That $1,000 in America is still only $1,000 in the Philippines. It's the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Now, you still have to manage it. And if you don't have a savings account, a backup plan, we are blessed, and I'm just saying from my standpoint, I have a lot of investments. That's why I don't e-beg, because I don't need anybody's money. You know, I have investments and properties, and you know, we went to the Philippines, and and I tell my wife, I told people, I said, I don't understand this. I have all of this money in the United States, right? And here I am dragging water in to flush a fucking toilet. You know, here I am dragging water off the street.
That's part of your day.
Off the toilet. You know, it doesn't work that way.
Always
Now,
got to.
if that's all you're counting on is a small amount of money in the United States to go a long ways in the Philippines, it's just not. Because as much as the Philippines is cool and enjoyable, you will definitely have all kinds of people want to help you with that money.
Just go and do it,
All
Gary.
kinds of new friends.
Do what you want, go and do it. But as Jack said, you should go for like 2 months or something, just so you have a better understanding. Because there's going to be so many things every day that'll just fucking piss you off.
Yeah. Blow your mind.
Well, I
Stick
may
your
do
toes
that.
in the water for a
I
little
may
bit
do
and
the
figure it out.
vacation thing, you know, the trip, you know, thing.
And Gary, let me give you this advice. If you're wanting to go further, move out of the area that you're in. Go to Mississippi and live in a 55 plus community. Where
Go on a rafting trip.
live in a different state where the cost of living is much better. Make your dollar go further. Then you can go and visit the Philippines more if you like. And
Well, actually, I live in a very financially good place here for me
good.
Yeah,
because I just rent a
spending
room in
$600
a
a month
house
for a
with a
room.
family here, and they also encourage me to just take a trip.
Good.
But you're not allowed to have a woman in your room, though, are you?
They take trips themselves. They take
Work on you.
last time they were gone for 3 months.
Oh, nice.
Didn't have a lick of ice cream when they come back.
Yeah,
Right?
I replaced some stuff there.
yeah, with fucking ice milk.
I just
That's
got
all I'm
to
saying.
be careful with the flavor I pick, because some of them
Didn't their
are hard
fridge
to
get
find.
kind
Hard
of
to find.
Didn't the fridge get kind of gnarly after the first couple months of all the stuff in there turning green?
Self
I'm
defrost.
worse. I'm worse now, but the rent's raised though. I give them more a month now.
Well, you're telling me you're getting more. Don't get,
You already paid their mortgage
Well, I'd
off.
say I eat a lot of your food, so let me give you some more money.
well, you just told rat on yourself.
From one old guy to another old guy, that's my advice. Whether you take it
Okay.
or not, it's up to you.
David, you know you can lead a horse to water.
Well, I did
But
like
you can't
that
make it
advice.
drink.
That I did pay attention, especially that one thing he said. That Social Security will probably send me a letter or something. You know?
Hey, they're gonna have a new thing called sexual security. Yep.
But
Sometimes what they
that's,
say, you can lead the horse to water,
Hookers for
you
free.
can drink, but you can eat the horse if he
well,
dies. That's good.
Yep.
maybe I'll keep this address. Well, I'll sure keep this address here, and this family here,
tattooed on your
will assist me.
Tombstone.
I've known this family a long time. I've only lived in this right now. I've lived here 22 years, but I've lived here other times too with them, and I've lived in another house with them, and I lived in an apartment with them.
That's
David.
good.
Leave 'em alone.
Yes, sir.
You
Dave.
won't leave them alone, will you?
I've heard YouTubers that went there, and just by mistakes they made, they didn't keep their U.S. phone plan long enough. And of course, when you have a bank over here and
Still
you
got
have
mine.
problems, or you want to get money, and you're calling from the Philippines, guess what? They
They
just
don't
think
like it.
you're another Philippine scammer. So
Right.
you have to have a U.S. either address or phone, so they can text the verification code. Say you're over there trying to get to your money, and they want to send you a verification code on your U.S. phone,
Yeah.
and you've canceled your U.S. phone.
I got
So
my
now
T-Mobile
you're over there.
for,
You have a nice brand new
2.5 years.
flashy card, but you can't get access to it.
All right. Now
Right?
he's gonna have a lot of fun leaving the house tomorrow.
That's it.
That's like
Yeah, I still have my T-Mobile for over 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Well, like that's what
I'm
that
good.
Magic
Oh,
Jack is for,
My,
right?
my mistake was I wasn't using the data on my phone, and I get a phone bill for $111. I go, what the hell is this shit? Because I called up AT&T. The guy goes, man, he goes, you got so much data that don't worry about it. You can talk for a half hour, hour and a half. Be all right.
Mm.
So I kept mine. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I turn on I got dual SIMs, so I'm
I
good
get
with.
free data on my T-Mobile.
Oh man, that's super. Then you
And what
call
do you
home
pay
for
a
Hmm.
free.
what do you pay a month to maintain that, or is that a pay as you go?
I don't pay nothing. Mother
And
pays it.
mom,
Oh, I see.
It's like I think it's like $65 a month. I think.
65,
Yeah,
cheaper than
65.
mine.
I think I pay 162 for 5 of us.
Mine was
That's only
60.
30 bucks each.
That's right.
Last bill was 80. That's because I started using my data.
I don't know what ours.
I had to make a couple calls, and I'm on the line. I'm on the line for like a half hour straight.
I think ours is 115 for 2 phones.
That's ridiculous, though, man. It's a fucking phone, man.
Hmm.
The money so
Yeah.
people spend on those things. It's a phone. I don't get if you do it for business, that's different. But for Joe Average out here, they gotta have or below, they gotta have that thing no matter what, just because it's a status thing,
I
Fine.
rarely
I just
use
have
my
a
data.
as
Just
you
have a
go.
brownout or something here, or
Oh, you have Wi-Fi, right? So
I got
till then you,
Wi-Fi. I'm paying like
yeah, till
100
then
and
you,
no, wait,
Let's
you don't, you
599
don't,
pesos a month.
you don't use your, you
Ah,
don't use your data then. I mean, it don't come
199.
off your.
I have a different scenario I want to run by you guys. Thinking about money, the cost of living in the Philippines, right?
Okay.
So here's what we're experiencing and going to be happening is we have somebody who's going to be coming from the Philippines to work in the United States. Now, she is already um, begged, borrowed every dollar in the world in the Philippines because she's coming to America and she's going to be so filthy rich because she's going to work in America. Now, this person is going to make $60,000 a year, which is not a bad salary, except for the fact that she's going to be in Chicago.
Ooh,
Okay, that lowers down to a reality of like
fuck
15,000 a
that,
year.
man. One taste of
Yeah.
that.
Maybe disposable income, maybe
One
if
taste.
that.
One time I having those nipples hard as ice,
And then
man.
she'd have to pay all that utang back that she just
Ooh.
burned.
And you got to remember now, she has to pay back all these millions of thousands of dollars to the service agency that she's
Right,
getting employed with.
right.
All the money that she's borrowed from everybody else in the Philippines, telling them, "Hey, I'm going to be rich in America. Just give me money." And as soon as my first paycheck comes in, which is going to be millions and millions and millions of pesos,
Yeah.
I'm going to pay everybody back. So
What
Well,
heating bills?
David, my wife had a friend who was a PT, physical therapist, right? Came here, same thing on a workers, some employee service. She got paid half of her salary went to that employee agency for 3 years. And once that contract was up and she stayed here, she eventually got her PhD as a physical therapist. Now she's making real bucks, living in Metro Washington D.C., probably in a townhome that cost a minimum of $500,000, right?
right.
So she's making the real money. But you're right. The first 3 years, or however long they have an employee commitment to that agency, they get at least half of their U.S. salary. Now, I don't know if she knows that ahead of time,
She does.
but she's going to find out.
She's delusional. And
Okay.
of course, she has 6 kids back home and a husband that she's going to support.
Oh, I
Now,
see.
the problem with this is yes, maybe she can stay permanently down the road, but because we're going to be seeing this because we've already seen it. We get hit up for money every other week, and I told my wife, I said, look, and this is just not going to work the way she thinks it's going to work. 60 grand in Chicago is garbage money. She has to pay all of this back. even if she gets to stay here in 3 years, she still may be only going to make 70,000 as a teacher
Mhm.
in America. You know what I mean? So being a physical therapist can make a lot of money. A teacher
Right.
cannot.
Right.
So, but I've had to explain that our wallet is closed.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen because I'm not supporting her family in the Philippines just so that she can come here to live in the United States.
And just barely make enough to eat rice.
So
Right.
my point about that, Gary, is the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. And this person is going to find this out. The sad thing is, if she would just stay in the Philippines and focus and manage money correctly, being an educator, a very good educator, in the Philippines, she would have a better quality of life with her family in the Philippines than she's gonna have in the United States.
Mhm.
Yeah, I believe you're right there.
He's always right.
You know,
Thank you for the
do you
vote.
know?
Mr.
Do
King.
you know
That's the only
why,
reason we let him on the panel. He's always right.
That's right.
Do you know why
No.
actually the grass does look greener on the other side of the fence? If
Because it
it's
hasn't been trampled on by the cows.
huh?
Because you're colorblind.
Because it hasn't been trampled on, and therefore the chloroform in the grass, the chlorophyll, not form, chlorophyll is brighter.
Going off the
No,
tracks.
that's not the actual reason.
Plus, the fertilizer is more nutritious.
No, the grass always looks greener on the other side of the fence because you're looking at the side of it. If you're standing right up on the grass and look down, it's not going to look so green because you're going to see between the blades.
Hey, don't
But
bring
you
that
look
weed.
at the side of it, it looks greener.
Don't bring that weed with you when you come here.
So why would a cow in the middle of a field, right? The cow's in the middle of the field. And he can look
Christian doing
anywhere in this 1 acre of land, decide to go over to the greener grass on the other side of the fence.
Hey, you lost me.
Trample.
Oh, Lord.
I wasn't
lost
even
me on
talking about a cow. I'm talking about a human
I need
just standing there
breadcrumbs
looking
to
on
find
the
my
other
way
side of the
home.
fence.
You lost me on the grass
I'm
philosophy.
not looking about a cow. You brought in the cow thing.
Well, that's
Are you
where it
vegans?
comes from.
He's like the professor from Animal
The
House.
fence.
Should we get high?
I think it's time to move on.
Yeah, what is it? Oh,
Next.
another thing is
Next.
Next.
that's
Tony,
OFW.
next. You're the
OFW.
moderator.
If I was, single again, I'd be going to Thailand now. Every
right.
block's got 3 mobile marijuana stores. It's all legal. Thailand, come back and smoking all day.
You'd be the first.
The only problem with
Okay.
Thailand, I
I
found
think
the biggest problem with Thailand. Now I'm communicating with people in Thailand too, but the biggest problem is language.
Yeah, I know. This squad after 2
He's
years.
horny. That'd be a long time. What's wrong with
In the Philippines, the second language is English. So
I
like,
know.
maybe
That's
80%
one.
of
That's
people
one
here
rule about the
understand.
Philippines for us.
Hey, Gary, you got to do lambada, man. The forbidden dance.
Just do what you want, Gary. Just go and do it. Don't
Yeah.
you're wasting
Yeah.
your
Just
Just
quit
don't end up,
wasting your
don't
time.
end up homeless
I
somewhere
found-
where you don't
Put the
understand
bus
the language.
stations.
That OFW. What does that mean?
All
What's the question?
fucking women.
Overseas foreign work.
foreign worker.
Other
Actually,
other
Kiko, that
economic-
doesn't mean overseas foreign worker. This originated in the Philippines. It means overseas Filipino worker.
Ooh, Gary.
Overseas Filipino worker.
Jack is a Filipino there, man.
OFW is
I'm at a high
Filipino
disagreement with that.
term. Actually.
Jack, you don't know shit. You don't know Jack.
We're just trying to be more inclusive, Gary.
Yeah. That's too deep for us.
Saying foreigner just covers just about everybody.
You should
Who's
get. You
not
should
in your own
Christian,
country.
Christian put numbers up here, man. Yeah, we're all numbered.
Do what you want, Gary.
Philippines has
Yeah.
the most
Yeah,
OFWs
Boston,
of
you
any
fucking
country in the world.
But do you know why, Gary? They were categorized as overseas foreign workers or Filipino workers. You know why that came up?
Why?
So the Philippine government could track and tax. So they originated, if you want to get to the origins, was so that the Philippine government
Orgy.
can decide, okay, so you're going overseas to work as a Philippine citizen? Great.
David, do they get a tax?
Mhm.
Do they tax them somewhere?
Yes.
Do they? Okay. How do they find that out?
You got to
Only
report.
through their employee agency? Is that why?
Well, and your visa, you're going over, to the employment agency, and you're leaving the country on a work visa.
Right.
Yeah, but the agencies, you betcha. Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, the government taxes the agencies that are employing, right?
Well, we're supposed to report any income we have with the U.S. in the Philippines.
Right.
Huh, huh, huh.
So when the Philippines,
But now you're never going to let them know that you're a millionaire on YouTube now, huh?
Number one.
That's
Number
right.
one, man.
He's number one on both hands.
I just read something.
So
I just
nobody
read
has to give
something
me
about
any
a
money.
guy. I just read something about a guy who won the lottery in the Philippines. He's an American, and he said, "Can I collect? That money? It's in the Philippines. It's a lottery." And they said, "Yes, it's the law. You can collect that, but you have to pay taxes in the U.S. on that winning."
Yeah.
that's right.
And then the Philippines will get the rest of it on their tax.
And then,
That's why I only play the local lottery.
Yeah.
So
The
I don't have to worry
local
about
below
that.
the
I've won it
table
twice.
stuff.
Yep,
You went
I've
to
won it
Carabao
twice.
so far.
I think around about 50,000 peso.
Wow.
Wow.
How much does a ticket cost you to buy?
I was paying 20 pesos each number.
Per ticket.
Yep.
I'm not a lottery person. I don't go for
why
it.
not? You live in a room in a Vietnamese's house.
I just didn't play in that. I'm trying to.
Right.
I'm not
I'll say
interested.
something, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Say it, no, say it, say it.
We've been in the ditch all day. Say it.
Cat's
Gary's
got your
playing the
tongue gag?
lottery.
Huh?
Gary's playing the lottery, talking to these girls and sending buying boxes and money, but he can't send money anymore because he kind of settled all the waters with all these companies that he can send money to transfer to people.
Yeah.
I don't do that. Because that looks really bad on your credit, especially in your pocket.
Well, I have a feeling there's a
Money-
lot of people that went to the
Money
Philippines
can't buy
without
love,
credit.
but actually it can buy love if somebody's desperate. But I've never went that route.
Well, I've sort
No,
of like
just
forgotten
pays them to
forgetting
leave.
about that love thing. Anyway, I'm not going over now to find a mate anymore because I figure if I find a mate,
Make a job.
I'd have to live on half my money because I'd want to save up money for her when I pass away. So she'll have some money. She's not going to go from
Make
a
a
poor
bury
life
your
to
long
a great life.
You
to
won't
a
even
poor
get a
life.
sniff of half of it.
A poor life to a great life, go back to a poor life when
Fucking
I'm gone,
6'5" fucker. You're gonna have a special box.
Yeah.
I think I'd be straight in the hole. Straight in the hole, no box. You just
Well, gentlemen, we're
Doesn't
gonna
Yeah,
call
good
it.
luck.
I'm dead.
Oh.
Doesn't matter to me what where I am when I'm dead.
Wait, Tony's going to go private, right, Tony?
No. I'm gonna go to bed, man.
What?
Okay.
11 o'clock.
All right, guys. Everybody take care. We'll see you guys
Yeah.
around.
Bye-bye.
We were getting good. Just when we were getting the Dear Abby advice here,
I
Tony.
know.
Well, if
Man.
Gary comes on next week, we'll do it.
Now Gary's going to have to wait another week to get some good information.
Oh, geez.
No, whatever you're going to do, Gary,
Thanks
just
for, thanks for all
do it.
the info.
He'll go to the beach channel.
Just go and do it, Gary, before you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't wait another 5 years. Just
Be like
get
Nike.
up.
Yeah, dip your toes in the water over here, and then go back and
my
mull
plan
over it.
now, my plan is March of
Fucking plan.
2024.
Oh my goodness.
I thought it was October.
Yeah.
Is it 2034?
It was
Please renew.
October, but it had to slide because I
No,
started
they're
thinking
dead.
logically of all the things I need, and I'm not going to be ready in October.
You don't know what the fuck you need till you get there.
This is like one
I
ball
can
rolling
be
around
ready.
Before
in the
you work
brain.
it out.
I can be ready by March.
Just procrastinate a few more years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're going to be
you
90.
got
What's the
one model
rush?
just rolling around in the brain, in your head and shit. Like, oh.
That'll give me the opportunity to grow a longer beard and things.
Here you
Yeah,
go,
there you
Father
go.
Time. Or you could be like a with the stick,
You
a
get this,
shepherd,
Rumpelstiltskin, right?
growed out.
a rumple foreskin.
Well, I guess I'll go up and eat my meal.
You're going. What's that head doing? So
Go,
fuck is that
go down,
converted?
go down and eat some tacos and come back with a whole bunch of shit all over your beard.
He said the pizza's good, but the wieners taste like shit.
It's a good thing that we live in the ditch. You know?
Oh my god,
Oh, yeah, you'll be fine.
Gary, that's why I shaved.
You'll be fine.
Well, you can always get good advice from. You can always get good advice also from Michael McFarland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's my
shave that
go-to
shit
guy.
out.
Because he's on the Social Security. He's on Social Security, so
Oh,
he's living over there,
Who
and
is?
he depends on
Who
Social
is?
Security. So
Michael.
Michael, the
Oh,
eBay
Michael.
drop.
That's
Otis.
SSDI. That's different.
No, he's on regular SSI.
Yeah, whatever that is.
If he were on DI, he wouldn't have a problem.
It is, isn't it? Disability.
No,
Yeah,
he's on
yeah, it is.
SSI because he's alcoholic.
Well, what's the
Yeah.
difference between D, I, and I?
Because they have restrictions. And the SSDI doesn't.
well, one is state run, I think.
Well, because some of these dudes haven't put in a day of work, man. You can't put a 20-year-old and put him in it.
Well, he
SSDI
says he's been
Listen,
there 10 years, so he
listen.
was in his 40s when he
he's
got.
he's got no work record. If you're 20 years old, what kind of work record you got?
He has a lot of work record.
Oh, if I'm talking about generalization here, how do you know that? Because he told you that.
Well, he said he worked on the boat. Okay, but I mean,
Fucking boat.
he was done
Shrimp
working
boat?
in his 40s, right?
Like go
Yeah, he
Forrest
was.
Gump. You know what?
Bubba Gump Shrimp Company.
He
Christian
has
has
his,
put these numbers right there.
his military work and
Oh,
reserve.
Hey, Gary,
Hey,
But he's a good one because I think the state-run SSDI or something.
no,
You can't get that. You can't get that overseas.
you cannot be out of the country more than 6 months. at a
no.
time.
What'd you
To
say?
get
For
what?
which one?
To get which one, David?
Like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security insurance. That is
Cover you-
for like low income, indigent
cover you-
people.
Right,
Okay,
but you
that
got to
one,
be within the
Dude,
borders
that's
of the
usually
US.
that's usually SSI when that
SSI, you cannot leave the country for more than 6 months.
DI you can.
Social Security disability is different. It's
Well,
just Social
all I know
Security.
is he keeps saying he gets $2,200 a month. So
You go to a clinic and you say, look, man, my shit it won't stand up no more. That counts as a disability, right?
Was he in the military? Does he have military disability?
no, I
Maybe.
don't think so.
He was
Maybe.
in the
No,
military.
no,
but-
Army.
He
Army.
was in the military, but no disability on it. But
Well, anyway, look, we gotta go now.
okay.
My meds are kicking in.
His
man.
meds are.
Well, we
Yeah,
going to live? Are we going to backstage? Going backstage?
No, I
No.
don't do that. I don't do
no,
that.
he's
No.
just. He's too old for that.
All right, guys.
Good
Take care.
All right,
Okay,
Craig,
I'm glad I
David.
got
gentlemen, thank you for
See you,
coming
Gary.
You
today.
guys,
Tony, see you
Catch,
later.
Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, see
Yep.
you, Tony.
Yeah, right.
catch Jack out there.
Good to see you,
Definitely.
Gary.
Good,
Yep.
man.
DM and
Okay,
J.
I'm glad I caught you this time.
M and J show
Hopefully catch you next week. Bye bye.
next Friday. See ya.
You donut.